Okay, it says we are live. If Google is not lying to me, then then we're being broadcasted to the entire world or anyone who is dumb enough to watch this shit. So,
Or at least 10
welcome.
people.
Yeah, at least 10, make it 8. Something like that. But it is what it is anyway. So this is just a random hangout. Bring your own topic. Essentially, this is a Google Hangout with no plan whatsoever. We're just going to talk about whatever the fuck we want. And there is one bit of information that I was given that I didn't want to. So, Sean, would you like to tell other people the train wreck that you just told me?
Okay, who all remembers Anthony Liley?
Oh,
Go ahead.
me,
Go ahead,
me,
Chad.
me,
I'll
me.
wait for you.
I know that fucking skid mark piece of shit, liar, electrolysis douchebag.
Well, as everybody knows, Anthony Liley deleted his channel. And he left us with a video saying that he'll be in the background, he'll be watching us, but we won't know who he is. Well, I already figured out who he is. And you're all going to be shocked. He deleted his account. That much is true.
Yeah.
Right now, as we speak, him and Mr. Thrive and Survive are holding a live hangout. The thing is, Anthony Liley is logged in under Thrive and Survive's account.
I didn't know they were actually butt buddies. I learned something new every day.
Apparently, Rich actually gave his username and password to Anthony Liley so he could actually get onto a Google Hangout. Because without an account, you can't, obviously. Well,
oh, boy.
I didn't figure this out for about 5 minutes after just watching their live stream, just to listen to the train wreck that it is. And the way I figured it out was Anthony would read off comments and he would mouse over the text because they have the text showing up in the Hangout window or in the live stream. But he would mouse over the text as he's reading it, while Rich, the actual Mr. Thrive and Survive, was reading somebody else's comment. So right now, Rich is logged in under a sock account, and Mr. Liley is logged in under somebody else's account.
So basically, Liley went from being a fucking nobody to a fucking nobody with a lot more subs than he started out with. And so basically, was part of the deal that he delete his channel and then stay the fuck off YouTube, or what was the deal? Because he lost the bet, obviously. Solar eclipse did happen.
Nobody actually accepted the bet, so we can't hold him to that. But in his own words, one of his last hangouts, he says that if the eclipse prediction matches what he actually sees in England, then he would support the ball Earth. Well, that wasn't a bet. That was just something he said.
Oh, okay. So he put himself into that corner.
Yes. And once he realized that people remembered him saying that, that's when he deleted his account. It wasn't because of the failed bet. It wasn't because the truth is just being overshadowed by shills. No, it's because he couldn't keep his word and maintain his reputation.
Yeah. So
wait a minute. I thought not keeping his word was his reputation.
Well, for anybody with a brain.
Well, there's this, implied reputation that he had on himself. I guess that he was trying to salvage, even though it was imaginary or only a thing to absolute fucking idiots. But apparently, yeah. Apparently that's not worth saving, so that's a thing. And so when you have that douchebag going back on his word, he really doesn't have anything to lose.
So yeah, basically what happened was instead of deleting all the comments that he was called out for being stupid and lying, he just deleted his channel and quite literally has the option of stealing Thrive and Survives now, which I think he actually will.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What if we got Alex to get him on a Skype call and he were to enter this hangout underneath his newly acquired channel? Do you think that we would be able to like capitalize on that and be like, hey, you kind of lost this. Are you willing to admit it? Because not only would he be admitting it for himself, but he would also be speaking for the Lion Connive channel. So if he is speaking for not only himself but the Lion Connive channel, that would technically be killing two birds with one stone, would it not be?
Yeah, but he wouldn't do it because, you know, he's under strict orders by Thrive and Survive to not do that probably.
Okay, new rule, we're calling him Lion Connive.
Oh, I've called him Lion Connive since I made my parody of him.
Hey, I've got to say, look, I said this with no boast. I'm the one that first dubbed that name Lion Connive.
Do you have a date for that? Because I'm pretty sure I featured that in a parody.
No, I don't.
So just saying, I have a record of when it was said, when I said it.
Yes, you have a record. You've said when you said it. I said it earlier.
I really don't care who came up with it first. The only thing is that's what we're going to call him because that's what he is.
But I know for a fact I came up with Anthony Liley.
Yeah, I basically want him to. I want him to come into a hangout, maybe not one that I'm hosting because he wouldn't dare come anywhere near my hangouts because he knows he'll get fucking eviscerated. But in a hangout, since he acquired a new channel, a channel that we could kind of use to our advantage, if he were to admit, I'm wondering though, hang on, man, I'm wondering though, if he were to admit to something that completely fucks up the flat Earth model, would Lion Connive actually back him on that?
No, Lion Connive has left the AE model and gone to a square or rectangle shaped map.
Square or rectangle?
And not only that, he's gone the douche bay model up. He won't conform to any kind of debate of any kind. He knows he's fucked.
I don't know if I ever tried to challenge him to a debate, but it's not above me. I mean, let's face it. I've been trying to debate Jism for 2 fucking years. I don't think it can get any worse than that.
To address Atheist Rex in the chat, is Liley Sleeping Warrior now? I don't know that for sure, but I do know that he is right now, currently at this moment in time, logged in under the Mr. Thrive and Survives account.
And both of them are on at the same time?
Yeah, Thrive and Survive is logged in under a sock.
Oh, on a sock. Okay. So basically, Lion Connive is on a sock. Liley is on the main.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Because Liley has no channel at the moment.
Yeah, because the douchebag deleted it after getting fucking embarrassed. It's well, you know, that would be a question to ask in the live chat would be, hey, why aren't you using your own channel? Oh, it got deleted. Why did it get deleted? And just watch him struggle to explain that one.
If you ask him that, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can actually watch their live chat, and one of their mods is deleting anything that's remotely controversial. He's not banning them. He's just deleting the comments. So I'll give them that. They're not banning people blindly. They're just deleting everything.
Yeah, but it's still censorship. I mean, if you ban somebody, you know, or delete their comments, either way, their voice is not being heard. So that's still censorship, in which case he's still a puss.
Well, to be fair, it's not Thrive or Survive or Liley that's deleting the comments. It's one of their other mods. In fact, his name is Sean G, I think.
Okay, so I'm wondering though. I really am wondering, and this is a really, really bad idea, and I accept that before even coming out with it. What if somebody in my live chat went to their live chat and said, Red/everyone in there is calling you bitches out, show up? I wonder if they would actually do that, or what would the reaction be? Because
they would delete the comment and then say something snide. That's all it would be.
Well, one of two things are going to happen. They're either going to delete the comment, or I'm going to get a flood of trolls and dumb fucks, in which case, bring it on, because I really don't care about views.
I know that Lion Connive was bitching because he went from like 60,000 subscribers down to 37 after he publicly went to the Square Earth model.
Oh, Sean, I love that shit. Lion Kai, I love that shit. I'm totally going to be using that from now on. That's awesome.
I'm wondering if I'm wondering, maybe I can go to his live chat and, well, go to his live chat and do it live. I'll fucking Bill O'Reilly the ever living shit out of this. I mean, I could do it. I'm just wondering if it's even worth my time.
I mean, the nice thing is you can actually watch to see who blocks you in the chat, because Riley has, well, he's the leader of the Hangout at the moment. He's the king, so you'll actually be able to see who deletes messages.
Yeah, so, okay, so, I mean, it is tempting. It really is tempting. I'm not going to lie. I'm just wondering if I should actually do it.
I would. I can't leave comments there because I've been blocked on Lion Knives channel forever.
Yeah. And by the way, what's the square Earth model? Basically, it's a flat Earth, but instead of it being a pizza, it's a fucking piece of paper.
That the sun teleports from the west to the east at some point.
Basically, take the map and just add magic. There you go.
Did I break somebody? Who did I break?
I don't know, but
Kaiser.
right,
I broke Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser, you're really loud though. If you're gonna laugh, mute. Anyway, so with that though, basically take the map, flatten it out, make it a square, and make the sun teleport from one side of the map to the other side of the map when it gets
along with everybody else who travels west to east or east to west. They hit that teleportation line, they zip across to the other side.
Yeah, basically you have to insert a shitload of magic, and that will be the model that he accepts because reasons. Now, you might be asking yourself, isn't just easier to accept that which comports with reality, aka the round Earth model? Yes, but we have to remember who we're talking about.
Yeah, I would do it live there, Red. Just to see if you're blocked. Just to see if you're blocked. You'll show up in comments if you are.
Okay, Sean, can you do me a favor and post the link on the side?
All right, just a second. Copy.
And just so people know, it is storming and raining like a motherfucker outside. So Zeus is about to dangle his cock from the sky. So if my electricity goes out, I will return.
And fuck you, Reds. I'm in Louisiana. We're getting all the shit storm here.
Your fault for living.
Louisiana is a shitstorm.
True. I can't argue with that. I really can't.
All right. Okay, so now that I got the link, let me go ahead and click onto this absolute fucking train wreck. So we'll go ahead and do this. Boom, boom. Flat Earth questions and answers with Rich for one hour.
And they started streaming 3 hours ago, and they had a hangout with the same title 2 hours before that. So it's going on 5 hours.
Fuck. So Ute is in the fucking live chat. This is going to be
he's got mods.
He's got mods. You gave that shithead mods. Wow.
Wee.
You actually gave that shithead mods. Wow.
And I'm guessing all of these mods were granted by Lily, because Thrive and Survive doesn't understand how Hangouts work to begin with. He can barely join a Hangout, much less host one.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say fuck this, and I'm not actually going to bother because I already know Ute. And I'm not even going to get like 3 seconds into this.
I just want to see how long it takes to get you blocked, or if you get deleted. I really want to see if you get deleted or blocked. Don't say anything controversial. Yeah. Just say, "What's up, guys?" or something like that, and see what they do.
Oh man.
Okay, so yeah, trolling the ever living shit out of their live chat. So I need to. Okay, so
I wouldn't call this trolling. I would call it an experiment. To see how quick they are to censor somebody who says something non-controversial.
Okay, so basically we need to be like, hey, I'm just wondering whatever happened to this douchebag deleting his channel, or maybe I should just ask point blank, whatever happened to your channel, Riley? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask that. So let me do this real quick. Let's screen share, and we'll do it like this.
Well, it probably won't show very good in the screen share, but I'll let you know in the actual video who deleted what and if you were blocked or not.
Okay, can you guys? In fact, let's do this. Let's do a. No, I'm not going to do that. Fuck that. Okay, so can you guys see my screen just fine?
So
Like that
far,
window.
yes.
Yes.
It's happening.
Okay, so you guys can see it. Prepare yourselves. Cover your butts. Thank you, Hill. So let's see. Mm-hmm.
And
All right,
like I
so-
said, this is just a test to see how fast they censor anything that goes against what they, or even just the people in period, without ever having a reason to actually censor.
Okay, so let's go ahead and try it. All right, all of you guys do me a favor. Mute. All of you guys mute. All of you guys mute. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug my headphones. I'm going to blast this through my speaker so we can hear the type of shit that they're saying. So here we go. All right, let's unmute this.
Yes, please play.
Yeah, but that's Patricia Steers a mid-50s tranny. That's not a cool video, is it?
Yeah, I've got issues where people get impersonal with people because
Yeah, I agree.
for whatever reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. I agree.
I'm here for the science of it. Not people's personalities or shows or whatever. People can figure that out for themselves if they got a brain.
Yeah, there's,
Anyway, it's a simple question for Wake Souls. Am I going to find, if I scroll through either list of videos, where I am part of the shill or troll crew that's being pointed out? I think it's a fair question.
I'm just having a quick check through to see if I can see anything.
And I'm not, I don't have it up right now so where I can actually see the chat room.
Still waiting.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were watching the chat. Event Skeptic says, no, you won't, Rich.
Okay.
Shout out.
What I found is, and like I said, this is how much I don't know other people's channels. Some people, if they even perceive you don't agree with their model in particular, I don't know why people are a little bit different with models, but if you don't agree with their model in particular, you become an instant shill, troll, whatever, Illuminati agent. But if you've watched my work, you know I haven't endorsed
Still no
anybody.
answer yet.
Yeah, but did you notice that the mouse went over to read Event Skeptic's thing and it was Riley reading it off?
I wanted to say the same thing, but I didn't want to mute. But yeah, immediately it's like.
He's
Hang on.
He's Event Skeptics put, come on, this is too much. I'm sorry, but I have made only true videos, and there's one of them a month ago saying, and it's entitled, "I'm not saying that Patricia Steer is a mid-50s tranny." I don't know whether that's. I don't know. It certainly seems to be a bad video about Patricia. I don't think there's any reason to be bad about Patricia, given that you've probably never met her or spoke to her. I'm not. Yeah, I think we'll drop this one just because there's Patricia bashing there in his videos a month ago.
I'm looking at their
on
live
that
feed.
basis, Rich, we should leave it.
Okay, I'm gonna plug my headphones in because I'm looking at their live feed and I'm not showing my comments actually in there at all. Like I'm not seeing it in their live feed, but I see the A4 comment that was posted just after mine was.
And what's the other guy? They know that you're comedy. They can see it.
Yeah, so
So you mean they have us blocked? No.
Oh, your first. Oh, somebody's got put in timeout. Who was it? And that was Anthony doing that, by the way.
Yep.
Was it? Come on, Anthony, scroll down. Because your comment hasn't been deleted. Your first one. I don't know if you did a second one.
Yeah, I can. Deleted it is. We have a winner. So apparently my comment was deleted.
Okay, why didn't it delete your first comment?
Pew said, I'm not seeing RR's comment. Let me try one more time. Control-C, Control-V, Enter. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, confirm if you're not blocked, because I don't think you're blocked yet.
Well, yet. All right, so I posted another. another one, and I said, Riley, what happened to your channel? It's
It's
just
still-
a straightforward question. It has nothing to do with the shape of the earth. I'm just asking what happened to your fucking channel. And Event Skeptic message deleted, so that was the one just under me.
Yeah, you're blocked already. And
Yeah, I'm
it was a
blocked.
stealth block.
Nope, nothing. Yep, it was a stealth block. So look at that. I got blocked just like that. Go figure.
Shocking.
Shocking. Absolutely fucking shocking. So everyone saw my first comment. My first comment was shown just fine. But every single comment after that wasn't being shown. Go figure.
And it is Sean G that's deleting all these comments. But I didn't see anything about, I didn't see a message saying you were blocked anywhere scrolling up.
Yeah, so needless to say that, yeah, wow, go figure. I can't say that I'm surprised. I can't say that I'm surprised.
Well, we'll
Sean
make the
Ford.
night better.
Sean G just
Oh.
banned A4, which is normal.
So, hey, excuse you, girly.
It's like, fuck this. I'm out. Okay, so that obviously happened because, well, obvious reasons. So apparently why his channel got deleted is a really thorny point with him. So everyone
And-
keep doing that.
And just to explain how you stealth block somebody so it doesn't show up in the live chat,
Hey,
you
all right.
actually
When,
go to your community settings and ban them there. And since the live chats are now tied to the channel itself, if you're banned in the community settings, you are also banned from live chats. So what he did, Riley did, since he's logged in with the Mr. Thrive and Survive account, he went to the channel settings and went to community and banned Red there, added him to the not show up on the channel list.
Yep. So
He didn't-
looks
he
like
didn't
I was
actually-
banned
He
within
didn't
the
ban
first
him from the
three.
chat. He banned him at the channel level.
Yeah, at the channel level. So that means I was banned within 2 comments, 3 comments.
And that could only be done that way by Anthony Liley taking control of Mr. Thrive and Survive's channel.
whoa.
Goes to show you how much they have confidence.
So he's getting around his whole I'm deleting
that
my
was-
channel and going incognito by taking over someone else's channel.
Well, by sharing the username and password, yes. Thrive and Survive
Yeah.
actually gave Anthony Liley his username and password for his YouTube channel.
Where is my facepalm protection when I need it?
Yeah, this is actually really bad, but I misplaced my oven mitt. I know I brought it home with me, and I know it's here somewhere, and I've needed it a few times, but yeah.
Well, I just like to point out that that's actually against YouTube end user license agreement. Just to say.
And not only that, I mean, I'm just speaking on if it's that easy to get into T&E cuck skin, I mean, who here wants to try to infiltrate these accounts? I mean, how hard is it?
We'll see. All right, so I'm just reading the live chat from that side right now. I'm not seeing anything that's of note. They're not acknowledging what just fucking happened, even though I just broadcasted it live. So everyone saw that I posted, right? You could actually see on my screenshot that I did post a comment.
Yeah.
But when you went over there on your account, you couldn't actually see the comment.
Well, I'm actually watching their live feed, and your first comment showed up, and then none of the rest of them showed up, which means that, and since there was no Res Rhetoric was banned message anywhere in their live feed, because they're showing the chat, he banned you at the channel level. It's called a
Yeah.
self-ban.
Go figure. So that's lightly for you. Man. Okay, so I'm just wondering.
They do
Okay.
kind of look. They do kind of look alike. I mean, if you take the hair piece away, I mean, they do kind of resemble each other.
Just trying to figure this out. Because maybe there's a way around it.
Cat Eyes just deleted a comment asking if they're sharing channels.
That? Also, yeah, Chad also said white block RR. That message was just deleted. Wow. As soon as I read it, that comment was deleted.
The butthurt is real, people.
Holy fuck, the butthurt is so real with this one.
And now they're playing music while they deal with the Red's rhetoric questions that are being brought up in the chat now. They're actually, instead of addressing it, they put music on so where they can just go on a band happy thing.
Okay, so they brought out the band hammer, so they're band hammering everybody.
Wait, is there a ukulele in the music?
Yes, there is.
No, wait. That was a joke. Is there really a ukulele in the music?
Well, they're back to talking now.
Okay, so basically
they're about to answer it.
Okay, here's what I would like.
Hold on, right? They're actually answering. I want to hear this.
Okay. You just blast it through my computer.
Oh God.
Hopefully not book 2.
Oh, okay. Here's their excuse as to why Anthony's in control of Survive's channel. Because Rich doesn't have the bandwidth where he's at currently to host it, so he gave the username and password to Anthony so he could host it. Bullshit.
Man. So that pretty much goes without saying at this point. So let me just say.
Yeah,
So wait. I'm sorry. So T&E can afford an entire backyard of wonderful fulfillment with
what?
With moon scanning with what are those? He can afford an entire backyard to do a moon experiment with one of those radio, one of those infrared. Oh God, this is beyond insanity. It really is. It's beyond insanity.
So I'm just looking at this. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I just want to go ahead and capture this for people. And so I'm not going to actually play the sound. I'm just going to show the live chat. That's all I'm going to do is show the live chat. So with the live chat, I am going to screen share and then present only my screen. I'm going to post a link to that live feed in my live chat. I want everyone to go over there, and I just want you to ask one question. Why did you ban Red? Why did you ban Red? Or Red's rhetoric, however. So let me go ahead and do this. There's the link.
Please tell me someone else can see what I just asked.
Hang on. I'm going to present to everyone. I'm making this full screen. All right, people. You guys know what to do. And I am going to just wait for the fireworks to happen. So while this is screen sharing, I want people to go over to their live feed, ask a very simple question: why did you ban Red? And after they refuse to answer why they banned me, we'll see what happens.
I would Reds, but T&E was the first flat earther that ever banned me like 2.5 years ago.
Yep, message deleted. So that way they'll go ahead and see what's up. I'm also going to listen to this real quick.
Well, was I pre-banned?
I saw your comment, Jared.
T&E has... T&E has pre-banned. Right. He has pre-banned.
Sean G is deleting all of the messages.
Yeah, T&E has pre-banned so many people. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably have been. I just don't be surprised.
Yeah. So I heard
he's timing everybody out that asks.
He's timing everybody out that asks. Now I'm actually trying to listen in on it, but the way my audio is set, I can't really hear them all that well, so I'm not actually able to hear the replies. So if if you guys can hear it just fine, let me know what they're actually saying, because I did post a comment, but the rest of my comments were not visible. So I'm wondering what the fuck is up with that.
I can hear them.
Hill, what are they saying?
They're saying that they haven't heard from you in months.
Fucking Christ.
They haven't heard from me in months.
And they're claiming that none of them banned you.
Reds, you realize this is the guy that not only claimed that isosceles triangles were equilateral triangles, but also claimed that equilateral triangles were the devil because they equal to 60 degree well,
Oh, what a
Oh,
fucking...
I like
talking
this.
about, right?
Jared was banned by Mr. Thrive and Survive, so you've been banned. That's right, Jared. You can put your name on that list.
Oh, it wasn't Thrive and Survive. It was Liley that did it under his name. Because someone brought up the question, because I asked, it's like, am I going to be banned now too? And
The answer is yes.
play back. And he was like, yup, banned.
Yep, the answer is definitely yes on that. The answer is definitely yes.
I'm actually
Oh, great!
Jared,
They're claiming you were never there. I love it.
I'm actually jealous of you, Jared. I'm jealous.
Why? Because I can cause so much butthurt and Liley just by showing up.
And also the fact that you got banned by Liley
What
instead
the
of
fuck?
TNA.
It says somebody said Red's comment 840 and someone deleted it immediately.
Yeah.
Sean G did.
Yep.
But you
that
never showed
was-
up. You never showed up though. Oh my god.
I like how they're banning other supposed flat earthers. I mean, Flatlander. Let's draw the obvious conclusion with the screen name like that, right?
Yeah, so if your name gets mentioned, they're just banned.
Yep, there you go. To me, flat plane. Okay, I think I've seen enough. I've caught this all on screen share. Yeah, they're just banning everyone. So say my name and you will get banned. That's the way it works. All right, I'm not going to click off this because I'm tired of giving them a fucking view.
Or if you ask them who's taking the dildo the wrong way, because it's...
Uh-oh. 2 people dropped.
Oh, what?
Yeah, 2 people dropped. So I'm going to go ahead and just assume it was a glitch on Google's side and not a snipe. Nope, it's not a snipe. Perfect. That was just a Google fuck up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a Google fuck up. Let's see. Chad, thanks, Fred. I'm now banned from that idiot's channel. You're welcome. I did you a favor. All right, back over to the other screen. Okay, so Hill, anything else that they said that was worth noting on this live hangout?
I don't think so. I've been banned too, it seems, so, that's nice. I have an excuse not to go back.
Flat Earth, the Jamaican Titan. I have banned other Flat Earthers for attacking and being trolls. So what? The other Flat Earthers in that live chat were simply asking why I was banned. It's a simple question.
And they got banned too, which is funny.
Much.
Man, and not only that, but if someone is in my live chat and they're actively spewing shit, I don't ban them. I invite them in. And I say, okay, dude, if you're going to talk so much shit, step into the sandbox and put your views up for scrutiny. Let's fucking do this. And 9 times out of 10, they just fuck right off. But come on.
Well, since you're listening, Sean G, yes, Red is sending people to find out what's being said because, anybody who mentions his name, you have banned. Yeah, Sean G's over here finding out why everybody's coming over to find out what's happened to Red.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is Sean, He got banned for just asking what happened to Riley's channel.
Yeah, that was honestly my only question. I literally just said that. What happened to Riley's channel? That's it. That's all I asked. Nothing.
got banned for
Because
showing up.
you are afraid to have an open discussion, Sean. You're blocking everybody.
Flat Earth Jamaican Titan, is that the Sean guy?
No, his name is Sean G.
Oh, he's in my live chat?
Well, he was listening to your hangout, and
So
because he
someone
just
just-
said in their live chat that you're sending people over to Thrive and Survive's channel to find out what's being said about him.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's just jumped in and out like the fucking wind. What the fuck was that?
Who?
Someone just jumped right in and out. I couldn't even tell who it was. That
dude's Tony. He's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
so
a good guy.
he's a good guy. So he's just probably having connection issues. Okay, so yeah, that was the only thing I did was I pretty much just asked whatever happened to Lively's channel, and that happened. I got, I guess stealth banned or whatever the fuck it's called, and now they're banning everyone who is asking why I got banned for asking such a simple question. So yeah. Let's see. I won't myself. Shinjin joins. I will. Flatter Jamaican Titan. You mean join this hangout? Well, so far you haven't said anything
his excuse
very retarded, but
his excuse was, besides this isn't a debate stream, which Red wants to.
I asked a question that had nothing to do with Flat Earth. I asked a question about, what the fuck happened to his channel. If the answer to that question is I deleted it, then just reply with I deleted it, and the case is fucking closed. There really isn't. I mean, holy fuck. It's at some point the stupid overload becomes way too much, and that was a moment right there. By the way, come on into my live chat, or better yet, hop into this hangout, and maybe you can answer that question for Lively, since he's clearly too much of a puss cake to do it himself.
I just had to say that to Pew.
Yes, insults. You're right. I will insult people who deserve to be insulted. That is very much correct, Flat Earth Jamaican. I will be more than happy to insult people who totally fucking deserve it.
You've really got to be a pussy to be catcalled somewhere. And Lively, well, you had it coming.
I mean, what? Hang on.
Wow. So,
Just give it a second. It'll sink in. Just give it a second, okay?
no, I'm laughing about what happened to Steve Bauman.
Yeah. Do me a favor, Pew. Don't ban him.
No, he only timed him out.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I'm not gonna.
And I was
Thrive and Survive is going to love the fact that Anthony Riley's playing copyrighted music on his channel.
Yep.
Ooh.
What do you deserve then, Red? I don't know, an honest fucking answer to an honest fucking question? Let's try that.
And they just got booted.
And they just got booted.
Copyrighted music just killed their stream.
Yes!
Dumbass.
Wait. Who just got booted? Wait, the whole thing did, or what the fuck? What?
The
It got
stream
it.
just got shut down by YouTube from content ID
Yes!
matching copyrighted music.
Karma is such a bitch, isn't it? Karma is such a bitch.
They were in the middle of, starting to wrap things up, and the stream just ended while they were playing music.
Basically,
Excuse me while I do a
just went,
Carlton
fuck
dance.
you.
I'm gonna do the saxophone with a Carlton dance right now.
Maybe you should
was fucking
songs
hilarious.
in a Hollywood basement, dumbass.
Yep. Okay, so let me go ahead and get back to the flat earthers in the chat. So, okay, so Lion Connive and Lively are pussies, confirmed, and I have it recorded. Now let's move on to some things that have,
Silver
actually something to
lining.
do with What's
Silver
that?
Lining in the chat just said Thrive's video got shut down. Wow, that is funny. What's funnier is it comes included with a copyright strike.
Yes. Good shit. Good shit.
Yes. Channels get shut down. Live streams get shut down with a copyright strike. Ask Earth Discussions, the original channel. Somebody decided to play some music on that. The channel got an immediate copyright strike. Way to go, Anthony Liley, for fucking up your friend's channel.
Yep. And
that is too good.
And it may come with a 90-day ban from live streaming.
That's
good.
What a strike does.
Good.
Dumb Buck of the Year 2018 is going to fucking be awesome. I just gotta put that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, actually, keep this in mind. The rule is that in order to be nominated, you had to have had a conversation with me, and Lion Knife has never been in that category until now. So he's actually up if anyone wants to nominate him. But anyway, let me just go ahead and get right to it. I have to do this. So for the flat earthers in the live chat, if you guys want to have an actual discussion about flat earth and why it is or is not bullshit, please post in the live chat. I will send you a link. You can come on in. We will have a discussion because unlike Mr. Lion Connive or Anthony Liley, I will actually entertain the other side. I won't just ban them. I think
we're not an echo chamber.
Yeah,
Oh man,
really. So I also think, for example, Charm was one of the mods in the other one. Notice how she's able to comment in my live stream and not get fucking banned or muted.
If you want to come in and have a chat, we're more than happy to accommodate. We're not going to sit there and run and hide from people.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my offer to people. So if you are a flat earther and you want to go ahead and put your views up for scrutiny, I would say send a message to me in the live chat. I'm actually looking at the damn thing for the first time forever. And I will go ahead and send you a link either through G Plus or internally in the Hangout, whichever works, assuming that you actually have a G Plus to look at it. Otherwise, I'll have to do it through your YouTube, and hopefully you can find where your inbox is.
And Charm, what's going on right now before this invitation came out was we're laughing at the fact that Anthony Riley just gave Mr. Thrive and Survive's channel a copyright strike.
Yes.
Dance, puppets, dance.
Because he was playing copyrighted music at the end, near the end of that hangout before they had a chance to, end the hangout. YouTube actually shut it down for having copyrighted music being played.
Yes. Okay, so I know Flat Earth Jamaican, and I think Charm is gonna be one of these people that's a flat earther. So, yeah. So if you guys want to come on in and have a discussion on flat Earth, let's go ahead and do this. And I can actually utilize it like this. I would just send it to you over G Plus and do it that way. Honestly,
Jamaican is trying to get himself and Charm Fear in here.
That'll work.
Because he's afraid to come in alone. He's afraid with
Why? Why? Listen, if
contrary to popular belief, we're not going to jump on you like chocolate cake.
Oh, that's good. Flat Jamaican, listen. I know I have a reputation of taking the demonstrably incorrect ramblings of douchebags and ramming it so far up their ass that comes out of their mouth, but I promise not to do that here.
Unless warranted by...
Oh, there's the band happy guy, Sean G.
I joined in... I think that was supposed to be... I'll join in 5. So Sean G wants in, I guess.
This could
we
be
still
interesting.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still got 4 spots, so 3 are used up now.
Honestly, Charm, your guess is as good as mine. I think it was done internally. I think maybe Liley did it. Who knows?
What, end of the stream?
No, banned me.
It was because Sean G didn't ban because they had the live chat showing up in the side. If Sean would have done it, then it would have said, Red Rhetoric has been banned by Sean G. That message never came up. But Yeah, like I said, Sean, you didn't ban Red. Anthony Riley did.
Showing up in the live chat that you
Anthony
banned
Riley
me.
did at the channel level.
Oh, what was it called? Shadow banning or ghost banning or
It's stealth banning. It's
Stealth
so the
banning.
message doesn't show up. What they do is they go to their channel dashboard. They go to their community settings and say, do not show or hide all comments from this user. And with YouTube, when they separate it from Google, when you do that, it also bans them from live chat.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give any indication they were ever banned. So Riley did that himself. No matter how much he denies it, he was the only one that was logged on as the administrator of the channel. And that's the only person that can hide somebody from the channel.
Yep. Jared, if you're typing, can you mute on your end?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So we have a few people, I guess, are willing to come on in. I ban a lot of people. No problem admitting. Yeah, but you kind of ban people for shitty reasons sometimes.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing, Sean G. You were actually banning legitimate flat earthers who were simply asking why Reds was banned because they saw his comment. And his comment was just asking what happened to Riley's channel.
Yeah. Charm, this Hangout that I am currently running has it, recorded because I was screen sharing. The only thing I typed was, Riley, what happened to your channel? That's all I said. It had nothing to do with Flat Earth, Round Earth, or Taco Earth. And now
Anthony banned him for it.
Yeah, and
on a channel that's not even his own.
That's all I said. My questions had absolutely nothing to do with Flat Earth. And all I was asking is what happened to his channel? And I was hoping I could get an explanation on why he's using, Survive's channel and not his own. But the comments were not like in your face or had the, basically answer my question, bitch type of mentality with it. It was just, what happened? Can I get an explanation? And he replied by banning me. It was just a straightforward question. Rich had no idea about it. I'm assuming Rich is the Survive dude?
Rich is Thrive and Survive, yes.
Rich,
Rob Hardwood, I don't think so because when one person logs into an account, it will not allow a second person to log in simultaneously.
Yeah.
So that was Anthony and Anthony alone.
So Infinite Loop said, I was banned, I think, and I'm flat. So basically, I even saw other flat earthers. They saw my first comment, which was just asking a simple question, which had nothing to do with flat earth or round earth. And they were even like, hey, what the fuck? You're going to ban this dude just because he's asking you what happened to your channel? It has something to do with YouTube. YouTube. It has something to do with a platform, not the shape of the earth. What the fuck? So what's going on here? Is he so fucking scared of answering that question that he has to ban anybody that asks anything close to, hey, what happened to your channel?
Right. Okay. Fluffy Tope asked what happened to Riley's channel. The official story coming from Anthony is that he could no longer tolerate the lies on YouTube. What actually happened was in one of his previous Hangouts before he deleted his channel, when he was talking about the solar eclipse, he said that if the eclipse was seen in the UK like it was predicted, that he would start supporting the globe Earth. It happened as it was predicted, and instead of manning up and keeping to his word, he caught himself in a corner and had no way out except to delete his channel. Yeah. That's what happened to his channel.
Also, reading the comment in the live chat, it was, Anthony just doesn't like you, Reds, LOL. And that's actually fair. But, it would have been easier to just say, I'm not going to answer that question, Reds, instead of just outright banning me, especially on a channel he doesn't own. So it would have been like, it wouldn't have been the answer I wanted, obviously, but at least it would be, a non-pussy way of replying. Let's put it that way.
But the nice thing is, though, is that Anthony apparently, he did admit that the eclipse did happen in England as predicted.
Does anybody have any eclipse footage in England at all on the islands at all?
Actually, a flat earther named Stan, I don't remember his last name, he actually caught the eclipse from the Isle of Man. And that's when Anthony saw that, he put up his "I'm deleting my channel in 10 hours" video like 2 hours after Stan put his video up.
Please tell me someone deleted, or not deleted, but downloaded that.
And Sean, and also Sean, I don't have any way to get the side chat on here. If there's any way you can publicize that, that would be, anybody could publicize that. It would be fantastic.
What, the live chat?
No, the footage, because I don't have any way to see the light. I can't. I'm on my cell phone. I can't go from one to the other.
I only had the link because somebody linked it in Anthony's video for his 10-hour, or in his 10-hour video and the previous video about the eclipse, and those videos are gone because the channel's gone, so I don't have the link to that video anymore.
I was,
but he did like 4 or 5 videos on it.
Well, I did I also, Sean, I need to apologize to you. I saw, what was it, I think it was Calzar did a time lapse, and I thought it was yours. And I actually, at that time on Steve's Hangout, claimed it was yours. It was actually Calzar's, and I wanted to apologize to you for that. But I actually did. I was comparing his. I actually did a time lapse of my own. I have time lapse footage of the eclipse from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, I did no time lapses of the eclipse.
Oh, yeah. And also, just a quick question to Charm. What does atheism or theism have to do with anything that we're talking about right now? I mean, admittedly, I do talk about those topics, but not on this channel. That's usually saved for like Steve McRae's or Talking Shit Tuesday. I don't understand what religion has to do with basic geometry or asking Anthony Riley what happened to his channel.
I'll answer to Justin Wright. He asked, so did Anthony delete his channel because he realized he was wrong or because he was tired of being called stupid? Actually, it was neither. He painted himself into a corner with an ultimatum that he gave himself and had no way out.
Okay. Charm actually clarified. I was referring to the user Atheist Rex. Just stopped at Atheist and didn't add the Rex. Okay. My apologies. All right. So, no.
I had to make that.
Do they have the join link now or no?
What's that?
Give them
the
people
join link?
Yeah, I thought you were already sending that out.
Oh, well, I didn't know that they were actually ready. So let me go ahead and see if I can find them. I'm going to try on the internal first. If this doesn't work, which it normally doesn't, I'll have to go into G Plus and do it that way. Okay, let's try this. Sean G, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go on G Plus, and I need you to plus me a private message. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reply to that message with the link to this Hangout. And I would also invite Charm into this Hangout to do the exact same thing, or by doing the exact same thing, go on to G Plus, plus me a private message, and I will reply to that message with the link to this Hangout so that we can have a discussion. And oh yeah, one more thing. I'll also invite, I don't know the exact name, but Flat Earth Jamaican, something else. The Flat Earth Jamaican, I'll also offer that invite to you. Come on in by sending me a private message on G Plus, and I will reply with the link to this Hangout. Along with, if there's any other flat earther out there, just let me know.
Charm has just reneged her request to invite by saying, thanks for the invitation, Rez, but I'm babysitting currently, so I can't. Perhaps another time.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay.
All right. And so that's perfectly fine. And I will go ahead and actually let me open up another tab for G Plus right now so I can stop bouncing between screens. I have 2 monitors, might as well use it. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah, I need a bigger desk so I can set up my second monitor.
I'm happy with my 57-inch monitor.
57-inch, lucky jackass.
I just wish it was a 4K.
I'm eventually going to get a 3-screen setup. Once I get my new tower.
I had one before I got this big ass TV. It was nice and all, but it felt like I was playing drums. I was constantly looking left, right, center, left, right, left, left, center. I started getting neck cramps.
That works.
I wish there was some way I could post this.
Can I at least get a hang on before you continue? Can I at least get a message from Sean G that he heard what I requested, to send me a private thing on G Plus, and then I can reply to it with the link to this hangout? Can I at least get confirmation that he heard that?
And no, Reds is not a gamer.
Nope.
Terman kind of forced Skype on him, and his girlfriend made the account, and that's about as, or not Skype, but Steam. So
that's as far as it got, and it hasn't been used since. Oh yeah, Pure Anarchy. So I guess I'll send him. Why not? Okay.
Reds, if you ever do
Right,
become
I didn't hear was smoking. Sorry, I will repeat. Sean G, if you want in on this hangout so that we can discuss Flat Earth / Round Earth, what I would request that you do is go on to G Plus and plus me a private message, and that way I can reply to that message with the link to this hangout, because I try to find you in G Plus and you are just not showing up. I don't know if you actually have a G Plus account, but if you do, please plus me a private message, and we will go from there.
Just out of curiosity, what does that always seem to be a problem with people that are they're all talking that shit? Oh, I'm going to debate you. They can't find out G Plus.
Keyboard warriors.
Well, Jism is a keyboard warrior. I'll definitely give him that. Because he knows how to operate Google Hangouts. He's been in mine many of times. But when it comes to actually having a structured, moderated debate about Flat Earth, a debate where he would be forced to bring up evidence for his position, he fucks right off. I mean, I have never seen a guy fuck right off so fast. I mean, my fucking God. He fucked right off.
Did you see his last? Well, this is the last video I know of where he basically did a thought experiment on somebody on Venus pulling a rope all the way from Earth.
The stick, yeah.
Oh my God!
He was trying to disprove.
Hang on. What was this thought experiment?
He was trying to disprove the speed of light by saying, okay, you have a man on the moon and you have a man on Earth, and there's a stick that connects both of them. What happens, or how long would it take for the man on the moon to feel the guy on Earth push the stick?
He's basically assuming that it's instantaneous. He's thinking he's using the narrative that anything you do to one side of the stick will be felt instantaneously on the other side of the stick or rope or whatever instantaneously.
Because the molecules within the stick will get the motion. Exactly. Gradually, kind of like a domino effect.
And
that's exactly what I do. The domino effect is exactly what
information cannot travel faster than the speed of light. Here's
the thing. The person on the moon would feel that push at the speed of sound through the material that's being pushed.
Yes.
Because that's how long it takes for molecules. That's how long it takes for molecules to bump into each other. It goes at the speed of sound through the material.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was funny. It's it's somehow debunking the speed of light when he's doing a demonstration regarding the speed of sound.
Yeah, your thought experiment is actually going a lot slower than the speed of light. Just saying.
But wait, he used Hercules as the puller, so that had some difference, right?
No. It's still restricted by the speed of sound.
Okay,
the speed of sound through a solid object is much faster than through air, but it's still restricted to the speed of sound through the material that's being pushed.
Okay, so I am checking my G Plus, and I am not seeing anything new. Let me just refresh the entire fucking page, because why the hell not? I mean, I have the bandwidth for it, might as well, while I'm rendering another 4K video. My system hates me.
Get a 4790K Haswell CPU with a 9800. Yeah, do it.
My problem. My government shield check hasn't come in yet, and I don't think it ever will. So that's going to have to wait before I get enough money from my real job. So let's see. Yeah, they really did ban me. Yes, they really did ban me.
And actually, it wasn't Thrive and Survive that banned him. It was Anthony Liley using Thrive and Survive's account that banned him.
Yeah, it was, using, there's going to be some confusion there because Liley was using the account, but it wasn't Rich that actually did the banning.
And my favorite thing was Anthony Liley gave Mr. Thrive and Survive a copyright strike. That's my favorite part.
Well, that is funny. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty funny. But at the same time, he's been on YouTube long enough where he should have realized, yeah, that's kind of a bad thing. You don't play copyrighted music on a live hangout.
Well, here's the funniest thing. For months, I was on Anthony about copyrighted material and how to properly use it. And now he just took down somebody else's channel because he didn't want to listen.
He didn't take just anybody's channel down. He took my favorite channel down.
Well, what I'm going to do is this. I am going to try and find them on G Plus again. It's Sean G. So let's see. I'm trying to remember what his avatar looked like. Let me just search on Google.
Yeah, Dark Star just hit it on the head. Red was also banned pretty much while Thrive and Survive. The real Rich was basically saying he doesn't ban people, even though I'm banned from Thrive and Survive channel. I've been banned for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And that was just for suggesting an experiment on the Equinox.
Oh, wait a minute. You did it through Hangouts. That would explain why I'm not seeing it. Yeah, you did it through Hangouts. I was saying through G Plus, like the actual, piss poor version of Facebook. Okay, my apologies. Hang on. Okay, so if we want to do it through Hangouts. Yeah, there you are. Now I see you. I just have to accept the invite.
Yeah, I got banned from Travis Survive's channel, I think it was over 2 years ago. And I'm the first person that I know of that mentioned the problem with negative declinations. And that was over 2 years ago, and I've been banned ever since.
Yeah, I got banned on his video where he was proposing an experiment to do on the Equinox, but he didn't say what the experiment was. So I was just going to guess, was it the a stick in the ground and seeing which direction the shadows came from? And he blocked me. Didn't give a response, just blocked me straight out.
Let's see. Flat Earth Jamaican, I can't post a link there because Google has a feature that I don't necessarily like, but I will. Your name is quite unique. It should be fairly easy to find on G Plus. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't bothered trying to search your name on G Plus, but we'll give it a shot. And it shouldn't be that hard. And there you are. Yep, first one of the results. Okay, cool. So that is easy. Okay, yeah, so here's
post the link in the live chat. Yeah, no.
No, I'm not posting a link in the live chat. It's okay. I got this. So
yes, Anthony Liley did say that we would never see him on YouTube again, but he would just be hiding in the shadows. So again,
like
he lives up to his name.
We might see him in a live chat, but never on a hangout, never on a live feed, not doing any more videos. Oh, well, wait, he just got Thrive and Survive's channel strike.
Wait,
so
didn't Lively just get literally trashed, trash talked, and the likes I've never seen, even on HBO about the eclipse? What's this dude?
Hang on, I'm gonna have to make this clear. Flat Earth Jamaican information. If you go to your G Plus, not your Hangouts, not your Gmail, go to the actual G Plus page on your feed. you're going to see something from me, and it says shared privately. The link in there, click that. That'll get you into this.
He's already in here.
No. That's that's Sheen. I'm talking about Flat Earth Jamaican.
Ah.
Yeah, Flat Earth Jamaican also asked for the link, so I just sent him the link as well.
And
so you have
Sean,
to go. You have
I
to go
do
to your actual G Plus page. Click the link. That'll get you in here, and then we can continue from there.
And Sean, I'm going to apologize now because I spell my name the actual way to spell Sean, and I always see that as Scene. So it's nothing personal if I call you Scene. It's just a kind of a lifelong joke because you don't pronounce beans as Bon.
Ah,
I was actually gonna say the same thing to you.
Has anyone here seen the hangout with Lily? And I can't remember who. I don't know who it was. It was some guy with either Irish or a Scottish accent.
Mark something.
Are you talking about
Lila
With Halle B?
I'm talking about the $1,000 bet where he flaunted $1,000 in front of the screen, and he just totally got trashed, and he wouldn't give up the $1,000. Lily literally had $1,000 and flashed in front of the screen, and totally got vaped. Same. Lily's claim was basically that you're supposed to have an eclipse every month, and had no concept of the moon having a 5-degree tilt on its orbital plane. But if you look at the chat very closely, of the hangout very closely, he knew the entire time that he was like that the moon had a 5-degree orbital tilt, and he in the discussion for a moment where he knew the whole time he was lying. Nobody saw this when Anthony Riley literally had 1,000 pounds and flashed it point blank range in front of the screen.
Everybody has seen that.
Okay, I was like, dude, that just totally fucking blew my fucking mind, man.
Well, if he knew that it was lying, that makes him even more of an idiot for flashing up a bet that he knew that he was going to lose in the first place.
Anyways, moving on. Welcome to the panel, Sean.
Sorry, Sean.
No problem.
Hang on.
You're a little soft. Can you talk a little closer to the mic?
Sean, your mic is really, really quiet. If you can move it closer to you.
Can you hear me now?
I am going to bump up your audio like a metric fuck ton. Okay, try again.
Can I get you stuck on a phrase?
Test.
That's as good as I'm going to be able to do it.
Hang on, let me see. I think it's my settings.
Okay, headphone warnings. He's changing settings, which means we're probably going to get blown up here for a second.
Oh, it's okay. My ears are already bleeding.
Is that a little bit better?
No.
Nope.
We can hear you now, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just keep the mic as close to you as possible without shoving it down your throat like. Yeah, don't do that.
Holy shit!
I'm not very computer savvy, so sorry.
There you go,
Yeah.
right there. Keep it right there.
Yeah, keep it right there. Wherever it is, keep it right there.
All right, no problem.
Okay, good. And I'm going to keep your audio bumped up to max here. So let me just lock it in. All right, audio's locked.
Hey, Sean, not Hofer, but the other Sean. To be fair, we just like yell as loud as you can. What is a rubber? Just do it. What is a rubber?
Whatever you do, don't listen to Kaiser. Anyway, let's see. And also, I haven't gotten any more messages from the Jamaican dude. If you're still wanting to come on in, type in the live chat, and you can look at your G+, nice. And you'll see the link there as well.
To address McCallum in chat, why couldn't we see the moon leading up to the eclipse? Well, that's because it's a new moon, and there's just too much glare near the sun.
Correct. The moon, I'm assuming, at least most people know this, does not produce any light. And so if the sun is behind it and you're looking at the shadow side of it, you're not going to see it because it's not putting off any light. And also because the sun is so fucking bright, it completely glares it out. So the only time you actually are going to see it is when it's just starting to eclipse it.
Can I say something really quick? Sorry, Reds.
Hey, Flight Earth Jamaican.
Two accounts. On October 23rd, I believe, 2014. I was when you see an eclipse happen at sunset, it's if you just have a pair of sunglasses. I don't recommend this, but if there's an eclipse and it's a very rare occasion, it happens at sunset. It happened with me in 2014 in Louisiana, in which I was able to go on top of the Mississippi River levee, and you can actually see the moon, literally see it like with no problems with sunglasses. When it's up high, as it was a couple of weeks ago, on August 21st, that's not the same thing. When you look, I mean, if you look at it, you're gonna just get an eye full of light and blur and glare, and you're not gonna see the moon at all.
It's gonna be that way regardless what type of eclipse you are viewing and what part of the sky it's on. It really is no different.
Well, Flight Earth Jamaican has joined us. We got Sean G from Thrive and Survive channel.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. Allow me to join your panel, Reds, and allow me into your home. I appreciate it, brother.
Sounds good, and we can actually hear you, so that's good as well. So, I guess let me go ahead and
also real quick to build on what the brother was saying. The part of looking the eclipse, either without the glasses or whatever, and it hurt your eye. This is a straight lie. I looked at it with bare eyes, and my eyes were fine.
No, if you're looking at it during totality, you don't need glasses. Looking at it before and after isn't really healthy for your eyes.
Yeah.
No, I sun gaze all the time though. Doing sunset and doing sunrise, I sun gaze all the time, and it actually
sunrise is different. Sunset and sunrise is different. The intensity of the sun is not as powerful as it would be during midday. And when you're looking directly at the sun at midday, you are going to fuck up your eyes. I'm going to say it's pretty much a guarantee. I would advise to not do that and use only approved solar glasses. I think NASA and a few other organizations were even so worried about this, they were handing them out for free.
Hey, what's your name, by the way? Flat Earth what? I can't read the whole name.
Flat Earth Jamaican Titan.
You said you sun gaze, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've sun gaze doing sunset. I've sun gaze doing sunrise, and I've sun gaze. I've sun gaze in the middle of the day as well when my eyes were adjusted to the sun from previous sun gazing.
I'm going to ask you a question. When was the last time you saw the sun yellow or any color besides white in the middle of the day?
Last time I seen the sun white in the middle of the day was the day
not. I said not any other color but white in the middle of the day.
I don't understand the question. What are you talking about?
I asked a very simple question. When was the last time you saw the sun not white in the middle of the day when you looked up? It's simple. It's a very simple question.
When I haven't seen not white, I said that the day
I said the exact opposite. It's like you want to listen to the exact opposite of what I'm saying. When was the last time you saw the sun?
Kaiser. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. What is the point of this question? Okay, I think that's my answer. All right, so
I'm saying when last time I seen it not white, I've seen it not white in the middle of the day before.
Okay, hang on.
Hey, Kaiser, I'll tell you when. Today. Midday. Wasn't white. Just saying.
Yeah, and it wasn't, I couldn't even see the damn thing because it was cloudy. Listen, I'm only going to say this just for a matter of health and safety. Flat Earth, if you sun gaze like right as the sun is coming up and right as the sun is going down and also right at the moment of totality, that's perfectly fine. But if you sun gaze when the sun is at full fucking power, I do not recommend that. Eventually, it is going to fuck with your eyes. So just as a point of safety, I am not recommending that. But if you want to, they're your eyes. You do whatever you want with them.
Reds, I was making the same point. You just said it in a different way.
No, I'm telling you though, your eyes would adjust, and like you do it like 5 to 10 seconds at a time, and then the more you do it, your eyes will adjust to it, and then all the sun glare and all of that goes away. Your eyes adjust. It's like being in a dark room. Look, it's like being in a dark room. Of course, you can't see, but as long as when you're in a dark room for about 5 to 10 minutes or whatever, your eyes will adjust to the darkness, and you'll be able to see what's around you.
Wait. I want to say this. You wanted to give me to give an answer, Reds. I'll give Letter to Megan an answer. I'll give you an answer too. Letter to Megan, listen very carefully, okay? When you look at the sun at midday, and if you look up, you're only going to see a bright white sun. And as they go closer and closer to the horizon, it's going to get more yellow and yellow, and it's going to turn to red and red. The reason for this is due to refraction.
We're dealing with safety issues, not actual colors of the sun right now.
And that's not even refraction, Kaiser.
If I can try to explain this in a way that most people understand, the damage to your eyes from the sun is not from burning the image into your retina. The biggest risk to your eyes is if you think of a lens. It has a focal point, and then it expands past that to hit your retina. The dangerous part is, since your eye is filled with a liquid, that focal point actually turns that liquid to steam, and it expands. And when it compresses again, it actually creates a shock wave inside of your eye. And that actually starts to damage rods everywhere in your eye. That's the danger of looking at bright, intense lights.
You're not necessarily going to.
Sean, he doesn't know the difference. He doesn't know what cones and rods are, though. He's a flat earther.
You're assuming, Kaiser.
You're assuming, Kaiser.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give a safety lesson on why it's dangerous to look at the sun. It's not because of the brightness itself.
But what is that? What is that supposed to mean? Because I'm a flat earther, I'm supposed to be retarded to a word that I haven't heard before.
Do you know what cones and rods are in the eye? Do you know what cones and rods are in the retinas of your eye? Do you know what they are?
I do.
I heard of. Go ahead, Sean. I mean, I heard of it, but I mean, Sean G knows. So go ahead and let him explain.
Well, where's my case? He doesn't know, so I'm correct.
Okay,
I know.
I'm going to give you that. He's correct. It's still irrelevant.
It's very irrelevant. It's counterproductive at this point.
What are you trying to?
I'm honestly trying to look out for the guy. Okay, and I'm saying this like this: if you want to look directly at the sun, be my guest. They're your eyes. They're your eyes to fuck up if you want to. Be my guest. I'm just saying that there is a safety risk with that, and if you were to look directly into the sun, you are going to fuck up your eyes. A lot of people have basically learned this the hard way. I don't want you to be one of those people. Okay, I know I come out as, this asshole that wants nothing but the worst for flat earthers.
A dick.
Maybe that's true in the case of Jism, but with you, I've never met you before, and I'm only looking out for your health and safety. I would highly advise you to not look at the sun unless you have proper eye protection. Only then would I recommend looking at the sun, because if you don't, eventually it is going to catch up with you. You are going to fuck up your eyes, and you only have one pair.
Yeah, even Isaac Newton tried this with the skating contest with the sun.
I'm telling you, that right
and
there.
He almost went blind.
The best way I do it is to stand on dry soil, barefooted, so I can be grounded with the negative charge with the earth, with the positive charge that comes from the sun.
Jamaican.
I mean, y'all don't have to agree with me.
Jamaican. Hang on a second.
Don't do it.
This is coming from someone who has damaged vision. Without corrective lenses, I am legally blind. If you want to keep going down that path and waste money on shit you don't have to deal with by simple changes in actions, by all means. But holy fuck, dude. Do not go down that route of, oh, I'm grounded to the earth, so I'm fine. That does not stop your eyeballs from cooking.
I dare suggest an experiment. How about you do it on some like get a flat Earth friend, and you can experiment and see. I know this is a horrible thing to say, but
this is a horrible thing to say.
But really, like, there's so many people out there. There's so many people out there that have been blinded by looking at the sun for too long.
But I wear glasses though, so my doctor already said that my eyes are as damaged as they're gonna be.
Grounding yourself.
I've been wearing glasses since the 4th grade, so my eyes is gonna be as the doctor said they're gonna get.
Well, staring at the sun.
So in other words, I can't make them any worse.
Well,
I can't make them any worse than what they already are.
No, we're gonna end this. We're gonna end this right here. We're gonna end this right here. All right. We have already done due diligence on our part to try and warn you of the dangers of looking directly at the sun. Now, if you want to go ahead and keep doing that, that's perfectly fine. They're your eyes to fuck up. Okay. I can't force you to not look directly at the sun. If you want to, go right ahead. But we're gonna move on from here because
we've done our safety for the day. So the more you know.
Yes, the Reds Rhetoric channel does not endorse or condone people looking directly into the sun. You will fuck up your eyes, and if you do it with a camera, you're gonna fuck up your camera, and that's good. That's really bad. Okay, moving on.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. We're talking about the solar eclipse now, regardless if you're looking directly at it with or without protection. I want to ask Sean a question. Sean, do you think the moon was the cause of the solar eclipse that occurred recently?
I'm not sure. Actually, I wanted to come on mainly to ask you a question about that.
Okay, go ahead and shoot.
First of all, I'm a newbie, so I'm not sitting here saying I have all the answers. I just have a lot of questions.
That's okay. We have questions for you too. And by the way, I don't know is an acceptable answer to all of them.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Just about 3 weeks ago, Sean was a globe earther.
Yeah,
don't care. We're moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
So my question is: so the path of the path of the shade, or fucking, I don't want to make
shadow.
Shadow.
Uh-oh. We're losing you, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't hear anything.
All right, you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, Sean G.
Okay, and the shade was maybe.
We're losing you again.
It was like it was like maybe an eighth of the bottom of the sun, and it was.
Cutting up for anyone else, or is it just me?
It's not just it's everybody. Yeah, I can't hear shit.
I'm gonna back out and then I'll come back in. And
Okay,
I'll see if I
try that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a buffering issue. It sounds like an actual bandwidth issue.
Well, I tried to. I muted my mic to see if it'll help him better being able to hear him.
No,
I can hear you better.
It's a connection on his end. He'll hop out, hop back in. But anyway, Jamaican, by the way, I'm just going to shorten your name to Jamaican. So, Jamaican.
Well, everybody calls me that. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Question. Do you think the moon is what caused the eclipse that happened recently?
No, I do not. I believe it was another body in the sky because we looked all over the world. I mean, we was on the podcast. You've been exposed. Feel free to subscribe to a channel, or whatever. But we was on a live podcast, and we were connected with people all over the world that had daytime and nighttime, and the moon was nowhere to be seen.
Well, the moon wasn't going to be seen.
Why.
The moon wasn't going to be seen during the solar eclipse, but that's not seen to the naked eye. What if I told you we had pictures of the moon during totality?
Yeah, can you share it real quick?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Sean?
Just give me a second. I want to share this without sharing the link.
Yeah, we got Sound Lee's lovely overexposure, because that was exactly what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, so basically, Sean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for you to share, then I'm going to present you to everyone, and then I want you to describe what's actually being shown. Ready, and go.
All right, Jamaican. These are pictures that we took during totality. Go ahead and pick any random one. They're numbered 55 through 65. Pick a number.
Let me see.
55 through 65. Which number do you want?
Let's try 55.
All right, 55. We'll do this in real time, live, just for you.
Sounds good.
Now, this is the picture during. This is the first picture during totality. Can't see much of anything for details, can you?
Nope.
Let's go ahead and edit this and adjust the lighting. And still can't see much. We'll save a copy of that. And it's going to reopen that new copy. We'll go to edit the new copy, adjust the light again, save a copy of that.
All right.
And we'll edit one more time and raise the lighting a little bit. Oh, wrong one.
The glare blocks it, but you can still see some surface features.
There's still some surface features through here. And like I said,
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I can see any surface features like I would when the moon going through its phases.
Yeah,
They're not
Jamaica.
gonna be that clear.
Look, Soundly actually did a wonderful overexposure. And do you know what light Soundly used, as well as Sean used to get the surface feature light to show? It's called Earthshine.
Hold on. We'll actually go through this because this isn't one of the better pictures, but you can still make out a few details. There's other pictures that actually have better details because this is, like I said, right at the beginning of the clip. So you see this big lens flare right here? That's washing out most of the surface features.
Go to 59.
Pick one of the other ones. 59?
Yeah, go to 59. I'm just going to pick one I didn't pick yet.
Okay, we'll do the same thing. We will edit.
Yeah, because fuck it, that's why.
Have you guys shown him Bailey's beads yet? Like discussed that? All right.
That'll be a good one for the latter. Yeah, but Bailey's beads is nice. Well, everybody's known about it for hundreds of years.
There we
go,
sir.
Wow.
Very cool.
Nice.
All
That
I
is
did
cool
was
right
raise
there.
the brightness. There is the moon directly in front of the sun.
And you know what's incredible about this picture? All of the light that's illuminating the moon in this picture is not coming from the corona. It's from Earthshine.
That's light.
from-
That's light
yeah.
hitting the earth, bouncing back to the moon, and from the moon back to the camera.
That is really cool.
Okay, so this is my this is my thing. What causes Earth shine?
I just told you that. It's the sunlight hitting the earth,
Okay, you know
back to
the
the
sun.
moon, and then from the moon back to the earth. So
Yeah.
our cameras can capture it.
Yeah.
Say that one more
The
time.
sun illuminates the earth. The light
Okay.
from the earth bounces off the earth towards the moon. And when it hits the moon, some of that light gets reflected back to the earth again. And the light that got reflected back in this case hit the camera sensor. And what you're seeing there is earth shine. And you have to overexpose the picture like a motherfucker to see it, but there it is. And what we see in this picture are the surface details of the moon, not clear on a full moon night, not as clear as it would be there, but enough where you can tell I can actually see the Sea of Tranquility.
Okay, so my next question is: if the Earth shine is caused by the sun, how in the world is the Earth shine occurring if the moon is blocking the sunlight from hitting the Earth?
Because
it's only hitting like 1% of the fucking Earth.
Kaiser.
Come on, dude.
Why you gotta cuss, brother?
Yeah, you're not.
It's just a simple question.
Sorry.
Kaiser. We're trying to explain this in a calm way. Please 86 your shit.
All right, Jamaican. This is where relative.
Exactly.
This
I
is
mean, give
where
us the same
relative-
respect as if y'all were to join our panels. Give us the same respect. That's all I'm asking.
Hang on.
Well, I already took care of it, dude.
I'm trying to explain it. So, one mouth, two ears, which is more important? So, this is where relative size and distance factors in immensely. The sun is massive. The Earth, huge compared to us, larger than the moon. There is so much more of the Earth that was still in sunlight at the time of totality.
Okay, I know that. Hang on, I just want to point this out, and I'm going to give this like a caveat, whatever. I know that this is going to be dismissed as CGI or fake or whatever, but I just want to give a point of scale. That's all I'm trying to do with this image. So I am going to stop broadcasting or stop presenting you, Sean, and I'm going to share my own screen here. Let me see here. Okay, so this is full screened out. Here you go. Okay, so I'm presenting this to everyone. That is the shadow compared to the illuminated portion of the Earth. There is still a lot of illumination from the Earth, even with the shadow on it. The shadow only covers a fraction, a very small fraction of the Earth, or blocks only a small fraction of the light that hits the Earth. And so the rest of the Earth has enough photons to shine back at the moon, which then bounce back to the Earth again. And that light is what we captured in our cameras.
Is that the scale from Monday? From the eclipse last Monday? Is that the
scale? The scale never changes from eclipse to eclipse. And so that would be, this would be the size of the shadow in reality. So when you're looking here at the size of the shadow compared to how massive the rest of the illuminated portion of the Earth is, that's where the light came from that illuminated the moon. And it's that light that we picked up when it bounced back to Earth again.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Size and scale matters.
Yep. So with that, I don't want to skip ahead, though. Do you have any other questions or even any objections to what I just said?
The scale does change. But
that's what I was asking. Was this presentation the one you did? I mean, the one that had to go to the eclipse that happened on the 21st. Is what you saying? Is that the photo or whatever that was taken from the 21st?
You mean from the like the one from the Epic camera?
From the eclipse. Was this the one that captured?
Oh no! If you want that one, I can go ahead and bring up an image of it. It was captured from the Epic camera. I'll just have to search for it.
Okay, and I appreciate you explaining that. Now, I want to know if you can explain something to us. If the Earth is spinning from east to west, how was the shadow moving from west to east?
Because the moon travels more than double the speed the Earth rotates. That's why.
Okay, but you got to consider. But listen, you have to consider how far.
Back to the distance.
Tell me how far is. Well, tell me how far is the moon?
Around.
What does that matter? What does that matter?
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. Just answer the question without using any type of answer key. How far is the moon from the Earth?
380,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
Say what now?
380,000 kilometers.
So in miles, how much is that?
About 250,000, I believe.
Yeah.
Roughly it averages
was close
just
to
under 250.
238. That's pretty close.
I
Now,
say kilometers, not miles.
you got to consider from that far, no matter if it's going 2,000 miles and around Earth, you got to consider the scale of 238,000 miles away.
Well,
now,
Jamaica.
That's actually going to work against you, not with you. That's actually going to work against you because
let him finish what he
the
has to say.
tangent vector is.
Let him finish what he has to say, then we can explain it later.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now from 238,000 miles away, even though it's supposed to be orbiting the faster as Earth spin, it still will have to cover a longer range for the shadow to even keep up. Just like being on a racetrack.
No, it won't. That's a straw man. That's a straw
just
man.
like being on a racetrack. The runner that's on the inside of the track is going to around the track first, according to the outer side, to the outside of the track.
Let me.
So even from 248,000 miles away,
I see where you're going with this, but the problem is that the angular degrees are so minute. You're talking about 0.5 degrees, and that you can't. That's literally it's literally a straw man. You're not talking about like a track where there are 20 and 30 degrees at play. You're talking about 0.5 degrees.
Well,
I'm going to just show this GIF that actually answers the question.
Well, answer me this: if this was the case, why did all of these science experts that try to explain the upcoming eclipse?
No.
Why
You can't say you can't say all of these science experts. You need to name people.
Listen, but why did they have to spin the Earth in the opposite direction in order to make the eclipse fit the globe?
I don't know. You're gonna have to explain that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop! Holy shit! Let Reds explain this, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, Kaiser, I'm giving you a fair warning here. Stop interrupting him. Okay, you're the one that's being aggressive here. Okay, if he says something mind-boggling stupid, that's fine. Let him say something, incredibly stupid. We will explain it after he's done. Holy shit!
It's funny. I don't think any of my questions are stupid. A lot of experts say.
I said if.
Yeah.
I said if. Okay, I didn't say they were.
The point of the matter is Kaiser's jumping all over you when you're asking a question, and we're actually trying to keep this civil, and he's disrupting it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and explain this. Okay,
it's okay. I'm used to the aggression when I disagree with others' beliefs.
You're used to it. We get it. Okay, you're used to it. I'm going to answer your question now. Okay, so here you can see a actual representation. This this yellow dot on the circle represents the rotation of the Earth. This represents the orbit of the moon, and this line represents its shadow. Notice how when the shadow passes over the Earth, it's traveling in the same direction that the Earth is spinning. But because the speed of the shadow is greater than the rotation of the Earth, it traveled from west to east. This is an accurate representation of what went on. What you're probably looking at, or what you're probably referencing, is an oversimplified version or a model that was made in a computer that is not based on actual parameters. And so what I want to know is, where did you see NASA or anybody from the official word, let's call it that, where did you see them spin the Earth in the opposite direction? Can you please provide a link so that we can look at it and scrutinize it for ourselves?
I'd have to find it, but
okay, I'm using my phone, but it's gonna be a minute for me to. But what I can do, I can try to find it and post it in the Hangout.
All right. Well, here's a question.
The back Hangout.
Here's a question for both of you in relation to the racetrack analogy that you brought up. So your runner on the inner track, say he's going at 10 miles an hour. Your runner on the outside track is going superhuman speed at 25 miles an hour. Which one is going to win the race?
What's the width of the track?
Doesn't matter. Just think about it. Normal track. Your inner track is going at one speed. Your outer track is going more than double.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still possible for the one on the inner track to still win for the simple fact.
We are talking we are talking a normal Olympic quarter mile track.
We're talking a normal speed.
Kind of goes
8 lanes.
Yeah,
well, this goes back to
it's still possible for him to win. Yeah, it's still possible for him to win the one on the inner track, because the one on the outer track will have to run twice as hard to catch up with the one on the inner track.
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen them both. I've seen both. I've seen both. As many Olympic races I watch, I've seen where the inner runner was running. Seems like he was running slower than the one on the outer track.
Can I just say something here? I want to ask, what about this model that Reds is showing doesn't answer your question? Because it does.
It does.
I don't see Like this explains why it goes.
Yes, the path of the shadow was traveling across the Earth faster than the Earth rotates. It really doesn't get any.
This is like you're showing a scale model of it. This is an accurate representation.
Correct.
Like I could build a 3D model of this if you want right now.
Reds or Kara, can anybody show him the math, the formula, the actual equation, the formula?
No, we don't need to.
We don't need to.
The geometry is all of the math is there. If you want to derive any of the math, you could do it from this geometry.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, what I'm presenting on the screen right now kind of shows it. It shows all the math, but visually. So you can see that we have right here, this orange or this yellow dot on the surface represents the rotation of the Earth actual speed. This represents the orbit of the moon, and this line represents the path of its shadow. You can see that as the shadow goes over, it crosses over or it passes the Earth faster than the Earth rotates, and that is why the shadow was moving from west to east.
So
this answers your question perfectly.
But
Now,
Jamaica
do you accept
doesn't
this
believe
answer?
this because he saw people.
Stop speaking for him.
So have we adequately answered your question about the direction of the eclipse?
Well, I still have a question about it because
Have we
it seems
answered
that
this
the Earth is
question?
still spinning fast.
Have we answered this question?
Sort of, not totally.
Why?
Not totally, but I'm still looking, and the rotation of the Earth is still spinning faster than the moon making its orbit around.
No,
You can see it right now. It's not.
Tried to tell you guys.
You can see it right now that it's not.
Just to be completely clear, you see that little yellow dot on the surface of that blue ball?
Yes, and what I'm saying is it's making more revolutions. It's making quicker revolutions than the moon is.
Yeah, but
Look at the shadow. The
So how-
shadow's the
if it's-
important part.
you can see that the shadow is going a lot faster than what the Earth is spinning, and you can just see by the image. You can see that it travels.
Okay,
a
the
lot
shadow is
faster.
that long line. Is that the shadow right there? That long line going across.
You'll see a little
Okay.
black dot
Okay,
appear
now
on the
I
surface
understand.
of Earth. You'll see a little black dot, and it'll pass up the
And there it
little
goes.
yellow dot.
Yeah, that
Right?
all right. Watch as the black dot appears on the surface and it passes the yellow dot. That's because this shadow is traveling faster than the Earth is rotating.
Kids, this is why you don't drop out of school.
And if you're curious, you could actually do the math, and it is going a lot faster because it's just so far away.
Yeah, but if you didn't want to do the math, this model answers your question perfectly. So the original question was, why does the shadow move from west to east? And I think this model accurately or definitively answers that question of why the shadow was moving from west to east. It's because the shadow moves faster than the Earth is rotating.
I'm going to address something that's off topic.
Okay.
I apologize.
Oh, and to be known, did not drop out of school. I passed all my math and science classes.
Good for you. All right,
See,
go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah,
Kaiser, that's why you don't make snide remarks.
I'm just responding to his little comment right there, because we debated a bunch of globe earthers and they don't even know how far the goddamn moon is from Earth.
I'm sorry.
They don't even know their own damn model.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. Social promotion.
So I'm just going to come out. You want to come out there like we some retarded, uneducated bastards? Well, some of y'all globers.
I'm going to be muting you. Enough.
Both of you guys stop for a second while I address this. Kaiser, I'm going to address you, and I apologize, sort of, but not really, because we're trying to be as civil as possible, and you keep coming back with snide remarks trying to be very inflammatory. You need to stop. We're actually trying to hold this civilly for once. So I'm actually defending our Flat Earth friends here to tell you to stop. Do you understand?
Thank you, man.
We're
That
trying
just
to be
irritates
civil.
me because
Stop
like
it with the snide ass remarks right now.
and they really irritates us because we can't have science without insults being. We can't talk science without insults being thrown. You know.
We already took care of it.
I appreciate it.
We already took care of it. Enough with this crap. All right, we're turning the page now. So going back to the original question. The original question was, why does the shadow move in the direction that it moved? This model shows that the shadow passes over the Earth faster than the Earth is rotating. And this is done to scale. So it's done to scale of the rotation, it's done to scale of the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Everything is there represented accurately. When you play it out, you see exactly why the shadow moved in the direction it did. So per this model that I'm showing you right now, that I'm screen sharing to everybody, does this answer the original question of why does the shadow move from west to east?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Now we can move on to the next one. Sean Hufford, you actually wanted to say something, so go ahead.
I just did. I was wanting to
shut
down Kaiser.
Okay, we're cool. Okay, so now, Jamaican, you had another question that you wanted to ask. So what was your next question?
Shit, I forgot. You had me focus on this scale right here. Oh yeah, it seems like a lot of scales. I think we went to NASA. I mean, I appreciate you explaining there because it seemed like NASA had trouble explaining this or whatever. And as a matter of fact, they said they would give us an answer in about 3 months or something. I guess whenever they.
I can field this one for you, Jamaican, if you want.
But so I appreciate you did what they couldn't do.
If you want me, I can field this for you because Thrive and Survive is actually guilty of cherry picking that quote. What the scientists actually said was exactly what we showed, that the Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour and the moon's orbit is at 2,300 miles per hour.
Yep.
Thrive and Survive twisted it around to get the argument that you tried to come in here with before Red showed the model. So because he didn't explain it, he tried to dumb it down too much. I'll give Thrive and Survive that. He tried to dumb it down, and Thrive and Survive took advantage of it and tried to twist it around to fit his BS claim. Does that make sense?
Okay. Now let me see but what I'm saying, that doesn't explain
this comparison. You're looking at short stint. You look at it at the width of the Earth. When you have something moving at 1,000 miles an hour and then something next to it moving at 2,300 miles an hour, more than double the speed, in the same short distance, same starting point, same finish, which one is going to go faster? Which one is going to appear to move quicker?
That's we basically went through the shadow thing. All right.
And to answer your question about why the NASA renderings were always showing spinning backwards, I've actually seen that video and I know what you're talking about. What they did was they literally made the camera orbit the Earth and not the Earth spinning backwards. And that was cherry picked out.
Yeah, they were just trying to keep the center of the eclipse in the center of the frame.
Shadow in the center of frame.
They made the camera. You talking about in the
CGI
elevation?
video?
I mean, not the elevation, in the animation.
Yeah, what they were trying to do was they were trying to keep the shadow centered in the frame as much as they can, which means the Earth is going to look like it's orbiting backwards.
But that wasn't even to scale because look how close they put them. They didn't even use the right scale because the moon was so close.
That's why we showed you something to scale.
Yeah.
Technically, they did have it to scale. They had the camera behind the moon, and it was zoomed in telephoto.
Yeah. What
no, but before they even presented it, they said this is not to scale. It was in small letters at the bottom of the thing. It was said not to scale.
Well, think back on the animation that Red just displayed. That's the kind of scale they would have to show the Earth and the Moon in the same frame on a widescreen screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't do drawings like that or animation like that to scale, because it would be almost impossible to see any detail.
Yeah, and also a point here. I'm still not exactly sure which video from NASA you guys are referring to, but I do want to point out one thing that you told me it had on it, and that was the words "not to scale." If the words "not to scale" are on it, then you can't use that as evidence for or against anything. That's why I went to a different model, which was to scale using actual, figures, represent using the actual correct figures. And everything works out. It works out perfectly to explain why the shadow moved the way it did.
Jim, I also want to apologize. I'm sometimes when I get frustrated trying to explain something, I can be really obnoxious, and I apologize for that.
Just future, keep it in your pocket.
And I thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Look, Jim, I want to call you Jim because I don't. If you don't want me to call you Jim, I won't. But I just doing it for short. If you think about it, the Earth is 8,000 miles in diameter. The moon is going to be on average 30 Earth diameters away. And if you think about the distance, you got to take 30 Earths and spread it out to get to the moon, which is roughly, a fourth or a fifth of the diameter of the Earth. Those kinds of scales absolutely require. I mean, you can't put that on a sheet of paper even, without getting proper dimensions to understand it. You have to shrink it down to scale to even have some kind of understanding of what's going on.
Since I have a video of NASA's visualization, is this the one you're talking about?
No,
ODD
had a video that pretty much everybody under the sun shared that had the moon like really close to the Earth.
Well, like this, right?
It was a really bad video where like actors were like, "Do you know what's going on with the eclipse?" And they're like, "No, I have no clue, but scientists will know in a month or two." it was crazy weird.
That's what happens when you have journalists acting like scientists.
Yeah, exactly. And Sean, everybody that has been tracking this eclipse has known it was going to happen literally 250 years ago.
No,
this eclipse had been known for 250 years ago. So no, this is nothing new.
No, but what happened for early? No, you got hold on. Oh, go ahead, Sean. My fault. I've been talking long enough.
Yeah, everyone,
go ahead. No, Sean, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to let Sean go. Everyone, please don't interrupt him. Go ahead. You have the floor.
All right, thank you. What I saw happen was basically because, like I said, I'm a newbie, so I don't have all the answers at all. But I turned on YouTube, watched the video, and the very first thing I noticed was that it appeared that the Earth was spinning in the wrong direction. And I guess for me, when NASA is showing me a globe that appears to be going in the wrong direction, it kind of threw me a loop of why can't NASA explain it correctly. Was my point about that video, at least.
It's all a matter of scale. It's just too hard to do a scale to show detail. But
Sean, I actually have a very fun project for you. Probably too late. I don't even know what phase the moon is right now. But the next time you see the moon, this is a really fun project for you. This is something you can do yourself.
Do me a favor.
You don't need a telescope. You don't need eye aid.
Yeah, I'm a 36-year-old man. I would really appreciate if you talk to me like a grown adult.
No, I'm 40 years old. I'm not trying to. No, look. All you have to do is take your hand and go out the next time you see the moon. Take your hand and put your thumb. Raise your left hand at arm length and put your thumb. Put your palm out and put your thumb where the moon is. And the next night, look where the moon is compared to the background stars. Look at where the moon is at any one night and see where all the stars are. Even draw it out on a piece of paper and see where all the stars are. And look at the very next night at where the moon is the next. And it'll be about a hand width to the left of where it was the night before, and all the backdrop stars will conform to that movement. It will move from it won't move from east to west. It'll move west to east. Am I saying that right? Am I saying that right? Shit, Sean, am I saying that right?
Let me think. It'll actually be it'll be to the left of the stars from the
it'll actually move west to east about 12.5 degrees. Okay, 13 degrees from west to east every single night. If you take a look at the moon and literally just draw a picture of the moon and see where all the stars, and just draw where all the stars are nearby around the moon,
So
and do the next thing 1 day later, you'll see the moon will move from west to east 12 and a half, 13 degrees.
Okay. My question originally was actually, like I said, I had done a video of the eclipse, and I'm not sure if is it cool if I screenshot. I'm not gonna play the video. I just have it stopped at a certain point.
Yeah, you can go ahead and screen share, and then what I'll do is I'll present you to everyone so everyone can see you.
Okay. Basically, my question is, like I don't remember if you asked. Remember if my question was.
Just repeat it, please.
Okay. When I took a video of the eclipse, and like I said, I'm in San Diego, south of where the path was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, it's a pain in the ass seeing it, but you can see the reflection that I have right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the reflection, the moon is on the bottom half of the sun, or the bottom.
And I'm willing to bet that the actual crescent was on the top.
No, well, when I saw it through the camera, coming straight on, I could see it the same appearance.
Honestly,
can you drop back about 5 seconds and play that last 5 seconds of the video?
Yeah.
And I can tell you if it was a lens reflection or a lens flare.
Okay.
Yeah, because the reason I want that too is because
that's a lens flare.
Yeah.
And that's actually showing a flipped image of what's actually going on in the sky.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Wait, sorry, where did you say this was from again?
San Diego.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Investigation. I like this.
well,
But because it's moving like it is, it's because you're moving the camera. That's actually a sign that it's a lens flare.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between a lens flare and
Okay.
I mean,
It's a lens. It's a lens.
Kaiser, shush. A lens flare is literally a reflection of the light source inside the lens system of the camera. A lens reflection is caused by having an external filter or a piece of glass in front of your lens.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
And the light's bouncing off of your camera lens back to the lens in front of the camera, and then back to the camera lenses again. And that kind of reflection will not move orientation.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So,
and lens flares are always inverted from the actual image being shot.
Yeah.
Lens reflections aren't.
Nibiru retards don't exactly know this.
All right. Actually, thank you, because that was actually a big question.
I did a quick. I quickly checked something on timeanddate.com. They did this really great thing where you can see an animation from pretty much anywhere on Earth of what the eclipse should have looked like, and yeah, it's the lens flare there is just a 180 mirror of what it actually looks like. I got the same thing in some of my images.
Stop presenting, and please don't show the link to the Hangout again.
All right.
Sean,
this is why I don't have DVR turned on, just in case.
Look, Sean, if you
stop
ever
sharing your screen, Sean.
Yeah, quit screen
I
sharing.
think it's lagging.
I'm gonna temporarily hide him from the broadcast until he stops sharing, because I don't want the link going on. Okay. Sorry, he's still sharing.
I'm sorry. I just want to let Sean know, if
give him time, he's trying to stop it.
Okay. Well, I just don't want people grabbing the link. He's still sharing. Stop sharing, dude.
Sean G, if you can stop screen sharing, that would be great.
I think he dropped or something.
Yeah, he says his computer is much older, so it's probably acting slower than y'all's.
I'm not
trying to
try
hide.
clicking the X. Well, no, if you click the X, it'll drop out warning.
Everyone shut up for a second. Everyone shut for a second. Sean, you don't have to hide him. I'm keeping my icon white boxed until he stops screen sharing. So if he does come back and wants to say something, he can. I'll just keep my icon white boxed so that
I'll just present you.
Yeah, that works. That works too. I mean, whatever works.
Okay, he stopped sharing.
All right.
Cool. Look, I wanted to let Sean know. I hopefully can hear me. Look, if he knows anybody who uses a reflector telescope or knows anything about a reflector telescope, I have two of them. Anytime we make images and we want them in the correct orientation, we have to flip and reverse them every single time. And that's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I use it when I get my telescope.
No, Carrie, you said something.
I don't see how it's relevant.
Okay,
Yes.
he probably had to drop
You're
out and come
right.
back in.
And lenses, they'll flip an image. Yes, I think that's fairly common knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, it's either I'm too informative or I'm not informative enough.
Yeah, you're too informative.
Fuck yeah.
No, I appreciate it. I'm working on getting me one eventually, and I'll use that tip.
I mean, it'll become obvious right away as soon as you start using it. Like your
Mhm.
image will move the opposite direction you move the telescope. So.
Yeah. So as far
Cool bit of work.
as far as the eclipse goes, Jamaican, we've done the following. We've shown lunar features during totality. We have explained why the shadow moved in the way that it did using a 2-scale model. And all of this has answered the 2 primary questions. And also what Sean C was actually showing was just a flipped image. He just didn't know it was a flipped image because he wasn't looking at the sun itself. He was just looking at the flipped image. And so it's quite easy to get confused with that. So I'm not going to hold that against him. I don't think anyone would. So as far as all the questions that have been given so far, have we answered all of them adequately?
Cool, I appreciate it.
So I take it that's a yes?
Yeah, like I said, it was you was able to explain what the experts couldn't, and you actually used a scale to try to explain it. So I appreciate that, because we've been looking and still no answer. So
Well,
Okay.
to be fair, the experts were trying to dumb things down so much that anybody can understand them, but they dumbed it down too much.
Yes.
But they didn't use the scale that Reds used. They made everything
That
closer. They could
that
have.
falls
They
into
could
trying
have.
to dumb it down.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that what he did wasn't done down. He actually used a proper scale. They did not use a proper scale. They
I
could have
have to
did exactly what he did, but they didn't.
I have to disagree because NASA did essentially the same animation that Reds did in 3 dimensions. I mean, you may have looked at one of their demonstrations that was out of scale. You may have You may have looked at one that was not in scale, but they've done many. There are many different visualizations of. Like, I just don't. I can't buy that the experts didn't. I mean, they dumbed it down, but they also didn't dumb it down in other demonstrations.
The video that they keep going back to is one that the Washington Post did.
I know that's only one video, though. That's my point. Like,
Yeah, they didn't get this from NASA. They got it from Washington Post.
Okay, so anyway, regardless of what video they saw or who dumped it down or who didn't dump it down, there's a few issues that I'm seeing. First issue is that they may have looked at a video that was not to scale. That's definitely possible. Or they looked at a video which was to scale, but they kind of overdid it in trying to make it look pretty. And as we know, panning, tilting, and traveling cameras or camera views will make the Earth look like it's rotating backwards, and that could be confusing. So I'm just going to dismiss it as an honest mistake. I'm glad that we were able to correct it, regardless how the mistake originally came about.
He dropped.
So that's that. He dropped. If he comes back in, I'll broadcast him. But now that he dropped,
there he is.
Oh, and there he is. So I'll broadcast him. So let me move back. Let me move back to Sean C, though, because he did come back in, and we kind of just steamrolled over him. So, Sean C, with the questions that have been asked and the answers that we've been given, I asked Jamaica this, and he said yes to this. So, have we answered all the questions presented so far adequately?
Yeah.
Perfect. And do we have any other questions from you?
Not sure. It's kind of way off topic. But I know you're like into the rocket thing and all that good stuff. So, so the whole moon landing. How did they get through the Van Allen belt?
They went through a weak part of the radiation belts, and also they went super fucking fast, so they didn't spend so much time there.
Oh, and
Like
it's also worth to point out that it's not that hard to actually protect yourself against like the alpha and beta particles, like the high energy particles are in the belts. It's really not that hard to protect against them. You just need like a couple of sheets of aluminum, I think. I mean, this is something you can, well, if you had the proper materials, you could probably measure the radiation and just put like some sheets of aluminum and basically replicate the belts, and it's pretty easy to protect against them. Is what I'm saying.
Also, one small thing I want to add: the radiation that Flat Earth Jamaica is receiving from the cigarette he's smoking far exponentially exceeds the radiation that the astronauts of the Apollo missions had received from the Van Allen belts when they went through them.
Yes, exactly, and it's because of what's already been said. The capsule was actually shielded against it as much as they could, keeping it within proper weight requirements, but also they took the path through the thinner port. They didn't go right through the middle. They hauled fucking ass out the outer bits. That way they were minimizing the potential exposure.
And
It's
when
not that we... It's not that they...
when Jared says that they were hauling fucking ass, what we're actually saying is VTech just kicked in, yo, and they hauled ass. I mean, they were hauling ass, Fast and the Furious. Go fuck yourself.
Is there a reason that's not that one?
Radiation is always...
Go ahead, Shanji.
There's a time...
Wait a minute.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm going. Sorry.
What was the...
I was going to ask... is there a reason, like, now NASA kind of talks about it, like they're building up the technology to do it again?
Yeah,
I know which one they're actually... I'll take this one because
Okay.
I know which video that Flat Earthers are referring to. Also, we're actually getting a bit of a hum from you, Jamaican, so I'm going to mute you, at least for now, until it's your turn to talk. So we're referring to the Orion capsule. I'm assuming we're talking about a footage where the NASA engineer says something along the lines of, this might not be a direct quote, but we need to solve these problems before we send astronauts into this region of space.
I think I've probably heard maybe 3 different videos of the NASA saying it.
Yeah, and this was regarding the Orion capsule, right?
Yeah, the one you're saying, yeah.
Okay, so the Orion capsule is a new generation of spacecraft. And what we mean by that is that there's certain bits of technology that have never gone through that region of space. And we do want new technology in our spacecraft. It makes everything a lot easier, makes the operation much smoother. And, you know, in reality, the spacecraft can go into space, come back completely on its own on autopilot, leaving astronauts to do more important shit. And so in order for this human-rated technology, this brand new human-rated technology to be fit for astronauts, it of course needs to survive an actual live test to make sure that that new technology, which they didn't have back in the 60s, isn't going to fuck up when you're actually balls deep into the mission. So what they were doing was they were testing technology that was never tested before. This brand new, never before flown human-rated technology set to 2014 standards. I think they're going to upgrade it soon again.
POS machines versus toggle switches, hell yeah.
There's a lot to be said for the miniaturization of electronics and their sensitivity to things like radiation. Like,
yeah, so
we need to thoroughly test all of our new electronics and everything in that kind of condition.
Back in the day, you had computer programs that were literally stitched into the computer itself, so they couldn't exactly be wiped. With new technology, you don't have that luxury to hit an on-off switch and have it reset to where you left off. You just don't have that luxury. Modern day technology has gotten way too complicated for that. And so what they're trying to do is see if this new never before flown technology will survive that region of space. Those are the challenges that they need to solve, not whether they can actually do it at all, because what they did previously would be doing it the hard way. They're simply trying to do it the easy way now, but to do it the easy way, they need to test the technology that's going to make it easy in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way.
I have a question.
Solid state drives and RAM drives with solid state situations. That's actually vastly more vulnerable than a toggle switch of the 1970s.
Well, I have a question though, real quick. why don't they just catch up, but mimic or duplicate the technology to the supposed satellite that had made it through that region to give us Saturn and Jupiter and stuff?
Because
I
those
think
aren't human,
I think I
because
just
humans
answered
don't write
that
on those.
question. Yeah.
They
That
want to
too.
make sure that people will stay alive. If anything goes, how many satellite or how many probes have we sent out that have had some kind of failure? Just about
Yeah.
every one of them has failed in some respect.
Juno being a recent
Have you
one.
looked at the success to failure rate? It's not that good. It's actually it's slightly less than 50%.
Kaiser,
Sean.
Kaiser, we're not talking about total failures. We're talking about one aspect of the satellite failing out because
What's the virtually 100%? That's
we're trying to test technology so people won't die if something fails.
But think about it, man. The images they sent back are crystal clear.
Hang on.
It seemed like it didn't fail to pass into the region, you know?
Hang on. Listen, you're looking at only one aspect of a satellite, and that's cameras. You're completely ignoring things like navigation, life support, and that thing that most satellites don't do, and that's return home. These are the challenges that other satellites don't have to deal with. They don't have to deal with life support. They don't have to deal with re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and they don't have to deal with extended duration missions. And put a DSLR in their hands, yeah, they'll be able to take a picture as well. You're only looking at one aspect and ignoring the entire picture. Not only that, you also have to develop the lifting body or the lifting vehicle to bring the thing to space in the first place, which unfortunately we just don't have at the moment. We're developing it. It's called the SLS, and to a lesser extent, or even a greater extent, depending on your definition, the Falcon Heavy.
God, I can't wait for November.
I can't wait for November. So with that being said, though, you're only looking at whether or not a satellite
camera fails.
But we're looking at not only if the astronauts can take pretty pictures, but if they can survive, navigate, and also return home.
Look, I just wanted to see if you knew. Do you know what the primary mission of the International Space Station is?
Yes, to practice science as far as space exploration.
Close.
Did they bet it pretty much to yes, that's exactly what it's for, to practice science that we're paying them to do, and to experiment on exploration.
It's actually an orbital test bed for equipment.
The keyword here is long-term exploration.
Well, it's studying the effects of microgravity on the human body and on many different things. Like we have all sorts of experiments going on, just testing how they interact with microgravity, like how insects deal with microgravity and things like that.
Well, and not to mention the equipment side too.
Yeah, it's a testing center for zero G. You can test anything in pretty much zero G on the ISS. That's what it's for. For long, extended periods, including human beings. We can have people in orbit for months, and we can look at the effects that it has on people.
Yep, atrophy being
the people on the ISS, do they feel the pull, or I guess what you would call it up there?
Hang on. You cut out there for a second, Sean. I'm going to ask you to repeat.
I was going to say, on the ISS, do they feel the force of them moving at all?
No.
No. But they are okay.
There are experiments like so if you think about like a vial full of water, like just think of an empty vial or a clear vial with water in it, and there's a bubble. In zero G, that bubble would just suspend itself in the center. Okay. But since there is very, very small forces on the ISS from its orbit and it keeping its orientation, there's a thing called microgravity. So there is a measurable force on the ISS, but it's imperceptible to us. Okay. So it's measurable, but imperceptible.
I just a question, because I don't really. I can't really be sure. Would that be determined as? Would that be considered a Coriolis? That thing that happens?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually trying to understand the question. Sean, see, were you referring to the forces of gravity? Like, do astronauts feel gravity on the space station? Is that what you were asking?
Like it's you're drag racing. You hit the gas. And
No, that's if you accelerate.
No, there's no
that's-
acceleration.
Constant velocity, yeah.
Yeah, they're not accelerating. They're staying at a constant velocity. So to put this as a little thought experiment, let's say you had a completely smooth road. Let's say this road is like made of glass, that's smooth, and you're at a car that stays at speed, perfectly. Being inside that car, you would not know that you're actually moving.
Yeah,
and that's because you feel acceleration, not speed.
Okay.
And and they're not experiencing any acceleration. They're staying at a constant speed of 4.7 miles per second.
Okay.
There's an extremely small amount of
Yeah.
drag from the atmosphere, but that you could not detect it.
It's very, very small.
And considering that it's in a circular orbit, it is technically changing its velocity, but I don't think anyone could actually feel that if you were to calculate that out.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. This is because it's in the gravity field. It's gonna. Well, actually, Kira can probably explain it better than I can, though.
Well, every atom in your body is being accelerated by gravity, so you can't actually detect the force of gravity with any kind of instrument, really, without having a force to push against. So we can feel the force of gravity because we have the ground pushing up on our feet.
Yeah.
But if you're in free fall, you don't feel the acceleration from gravity.
Right.
And that's essentially what orbit is free fall.
Pretty much.
I
guess. Trying to hit the ground.
I've been skydiving before, so I mean, I'm kind of like
Skydiving is a different thing because you reach terminal velocity, and that's where the force of air is slowing you down. So you're actually feeling the force of air blowing on you.
Well, Sean, when you were a kid, like in a swing set, did you ever jump? I mean, look, if you haven't jumped out of a swing set, I mean, dude, you're fucking gay. I mean,
talking about the stomach you get basically.
If there was you get kind of the butterfly stomach thing.
Yeah.
If you were to skydive on a planet without atmosphere, you would just keep accelerating and accelerating. You would not actually feel that acceleration.
Correct. So Sean C, to kind of give you this, you can think of the astronauts on the space station as falling all the time, and that's why they feel weightlessness.
Falling without atmosphere.
Cannonball.
Yeah, falling without atmosphere. Correct. Because
Yeah, they got that queasy stomach, like that queasy feeling in their stomach all the time. I'm sure they're used to it.
I'm sure they get used to it after a few hours, but it was
So,
fucking weird.
so let me ask y'all a quick question real quick.
Okay.
This might be a little off topic, but how do y'all feel about scientists not using the scientific method and admitting to it?
That's called pseudoscience, and yeah, that's called pseudoscience.
When you
Are y'all a big fan of Michio Kaku?
No.
Are you talking about the
Japanese guy? Yeah. No, the Japanese guy, and I've never known him to use pseudoscience or use science without the scientific method. You're gonna have to cite that for me, please.
He's very fanciful, though, in his he likes to speculate on the future, and it's.
Yeah, I know. The generation, the class 0, class
hang on.
1.
Before we jump all over this, let's just clarify. Jamaican, let me ask you, when did he not use the scientific method, and what instance are you referring to?
All the time. He said that him and nobody that he works with uses the scientific method.
Can you please? Kaiser.
Isn't he a theoretical physicist?
Yes, he is. But
yes, he is.
Okay, hang on, please. Can you please give me a link or reference it somehow, somewhere where I can look at the context of what he was saying?
Yeah. Go to YouTube real quick and type in
research stops at
Michio
YouTube.
Kaku admits. No. This is his interview. This is out of his own mouth. This is nobody. No doctor video by flat earthers to make the globe look bad. This is out of his own mouth.
Michio
Jim,
Kaku admits.
I can't spell
Please
his name.
don't tell me that this is the one where he's talking about democracy. Please don't tell me that's the video you're talking about, because if it is, you're so fucked.
What did I tell you about jumping to conclusions?
I'm just saying.
Michio Kaku admits what?
No, he was actually referring to amidst not using the scientific method. Yeah, I just seen it's a new video. I just seen it the other day.
I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing it.
Scientific method. Search.
What channel was that on, Jamaica?
Was that on the Big Think channel? Because that's the only thing that comes up.
Is he sitting down in a chair? Do you see him sitting down in a chair?
And what channel is it on?
It should have his face. His face should be on the cover.
Obviously, if it's about him, but what channel is it on?
Here, how about I have search results.
Is it on the Big Think
Let
channel?
me look.
One of these.
Let me click on your picture real quick. Where are you?
Everyone
There you
care?
are.
Good luck.
Let me see.
I search
Let
for
me see.
Michio Kaku scientific method.
Description. Between scientific method, look in between. You need to add admits
to not using the scientific method. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just Google search with that. Okay.
There it is, the first one.
Warning on the decline of science in America.
Can someone screen show this?
I am broadcasting Kara's screen.
I don't know if we can broadcast this or not. So
it's honestly.
Man, he's not the only scientist that I've heard say that.
It's
by the way.
It's under fair use. We're watching it so that we can comment on it. So go ahead and play it, and crank up the volume again.
it's 4 minutes long. So
Could have influence on new generations of weapons. Even redirecting a tiny percentage of the military budget to pure science could have a profound effect on the development of technology. What about the National Science Foundation? What about our system of national laboratories? What about private enterprise? If you take a look at the system of national laboratories, they really have done the yeoman's work of pushing the boundaries of science. But, hey, we're entering a new period, a period where the best minds and the funding is not necessarily going into that direction. I once had lunch with Freeman Dyson, very well-known physicist, and he grew up in England in the 30s. And he said there was a very disturbing feature.
just briefly, is this at a specific point in the video that we can jump to?
Yeah, I don't want to watch the whole thing.
Like, what part of the video does he say this?
Jamaican.
Jump to, let's go around the 3-minute mark.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Get the best scientists around the world and send them to Silicon Valley. 50% of Silicon Valley, by the way, is foreign-born. 50% of the scientists there are foreign-born. But it's unstable. It can't last forever, especially because the Indians and the Chinese are saying, come on back, the water's fine. You don't have to be in the United States anymore. So I think it's a warning. It's basically the canary in the mine shaft telling us,
Okay, it's coming up.
we could go the same way as England.
Are we recognizing that? Are we funding differently? Are we encouraging differently?
No. Take a look at the media and the debate. Almost all the debate is about redistributing wealth, massaging wealth, rearranging wealth. But the question is, who is creating new wealth? Who's creating the next transistor, the next steam engine, the next light bulb, the next internal combustion engine, the next laser, the next satellite? Who are creating these things? Well, don't be surprised if one day it's going to be the Chinese and the Indians. Now, I don't want to scare people. I'm saying that you can see that
I'm still not following this.
best minds not going
No, he gonna get it because it's right after he mentioned about recreating a Big Bang in the experiment with a big by creating two atoms and letting them clash each other.
That's not
the
video.
Yeah, but how is it? How is this not using the scientific method? That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, this is not the right video.
Yeah,
that's not the right video.
No, this is the video. It's just the.
Well, I'm not seeing it.
Because I remember this right here is the same exact video. That's how I noticed it when the face came up.
Well, we're gonna have to come back to it. What I'm gonna ask you to do in your own time is to look for the video, make sure he actually says the thing that he says, and then what we'll do is I'll have another hangout. We'll come back to this at a later date, and then we'll talk about it then. Seem fair?
Yeah, that's fair. He's not the only scientist I've heard say that though. It's a it's another black.
We already agreed that we would come back to this. So besides scientists saying whatever, I want to go back to Sean G. You had a question, and then I guess your live stream completely went to shit. So if you have a question that we can answer, great. Because if after that we're done, I have a few questions for you.
Me too.
Right off the hand, I think I'm pretty sure I'm done with questions I had off top of my head.
Okay, and just refresh my memory. We answered all the questions you had satisfactorily, correct? You're
Yes.
satisfied with the answers that we were able to give you?
Yeah, for my questions, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, so now I have one question. Have you ever heard of the angular size argument against the flat Earth?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So here's one thing I want to bring up. If you were to take a picture of the sun every 30 minutes through a solar filter, so to get rid of all the glare, you'll notice that the sun does not change in angular size throughout the day. And also, Jamaican, we got some background noise from you, so I'm going to mute you temporarily. So we would notice that the sun does not change in angular size throughout the day. It stays the exact same size. So if you were to take a picture of the sun with the same level of zoom throughout the day, it would not change in size and frame. And I have evidence to show for this. Just like a car passing you, it would grow in your field of vision as it gets closer to you, and it would shrink in your field of vision as it starts going away from you. It would eventually become just a dot in the distance. Well, we can actually measure how much it would shrink given a certain distance. And with the sun, if what the flat earthers say is true, that the sun is about 3,000 to 4,000 miles away, with a moon that's about 36 to 42 miles across, or whatever they want to use, the math works out to the sun growing and shrinking by 4 times throughout the day. And that would be regardless of your position on Earth. So my question to you is, how do you make that work on a flat Earth, or do you not know?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm still new to it. I teeter-totter back on both sides, trying to figure things out. If anything, for me, it's more figure everything out and then come to my conclusion.
Okay. Would you go so far as to agree that that is a problem for the flat Earth, that flat Earthers need to solve?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that they have to solve, but at the same time, they don't have the backing. I guess you would say the backing to prove everything, or to figure everything out that needs to be figured out.
All right, and
let me ask a question here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What has the flat Earth figured out? Is it anything?
What do you mean?
Well, you say you go back and forth, but what evidence compels you to think that the Earth is flat?
Well, let me answer that real quick, Sean G. We have figured out.
Hang on. No, that question was not for you. That was for Sean G. Please wait your turn. Go ahead, Sean G.
Well, personally, for me, the things that make me look at it and think, well, what if, or maybe it could be, are things like the positions of our deserts, and the way that the flat Earth model projects the sun, the way the sun goes. Like I said, man, I don't want to sit up here making it seem like I can debunk you, or
we're not trying to debunk you. We're just trying to figure out.
I'm just saying I don't really have too many of the answers. I'm still trying to figure everything out myself, and trying to figure out how it works to see how I feel about it.
Well, this is why I asked, because you made the comment that you see things that are answered by both sides. I asked you what is answered on the flat Earth, and the best you came up with was the way the sun works. But everybody has demonstrated that it does not work that way.
Well, there's things like well, for me, when you look at the path of the sun on a flat Earth, and where how the deserts are set.
Okay, let me answer that real quick. Let me answer that real quick about the path of the sun. Because if you're in, like, say, Sydney, Australia, and it's dead of winter, on any flat Earth model, the sun would rise and set north of east and west. But in reality, it rises and sets south of east and west. It is not possible on any flat Earth model, so they don't have an answer for the direction of the sun.
Okay.
Also the problem during equinox and the direction that the sun actually rises and how it's viewed on location.
Yeah, the angle of elevation.
Yes, exactly. You also have the angular size problem, which I just mentioned. And there's one more that I wanted to bring up, and that was the pole star conundrum. On a flat Earth, we would only have one pole star, and that would be the one that's right by Polaris. But there would be no southern pole star. And as Wolfie and other people will tell you, there actually is a southern celestial point that isn't, right by Polaris.
I've been there. I've seen it.
Those are like kind of the things that it is. It's like I've never seen it, and you know what I mean. So, and I don't like going on.
Sean, I want to ask you.
Kaiser, don't interrupt him. Let him finish his thought.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Like for me, the research and the things I'm trying to figure out and learn, I kind of want to try to do as much as I can for my own self. Tests and observations and stuff. And that's kind of what puts me still on what I consider the fence, because I don't want to just jump to either side not knowing anything.
I want to put something in it, please, Rez. Before I want to make sure that the topic is relative. Sean, where are you in the northern hemisphere? Are we doing lateral? What lateral line you're on?
Northern hemisphere. Offhand, I don't know. I'm in San Diego.
Okay. San Diego, you're about like 35 parallel, something like that. If you look south at any clear night, it doesn't matter what night it is, any clear night, and you look south and you track the stars in the south of the sky, they will all track clockwise. And there's going to be a certain point just on a clear night, you're going to see all the stars in the south go clockwise. And if you track up, further up and to the top of the sky, there's going to be a certain point in which it's going to traverse from clockwise to counterclockwise. It doesn't matter if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going to still see that clockwise motion, and it's going to transform to a counterclockwise motion at a certain point in the sky.
So, just to drive this home with the stars and the star conundrum, if you want something that you can get yourself to easily verify that the Earth is a spinning sphere, it is to get an equatorial mount telescope. You can cancel out the motion of the stars by simply spinning in the opposite direction that the Earth is spinning. That's the entire function of an equatorial telescope. It's to cancel out Earth's rotation so that the stars stop moving.
Precisely.
So,
and
it's entirely based on your latitude. If you're at 40 degrees north, you set the angle of your scope to 40 degrees so that it's in line with the axis of the Earth. If you're at the North Pole, you'd put it straight up. If you're on the equator, it's 90 degrees. So it's a simple mechanism that intuitively makes sense in order to stop the motion of the stars so that you can so you can track any of them throughout the day. This also works for the sun and moon. You just have to slightly adjust the speed to account for the Earth's rotation around the sun and the moon's rotation around the Earth. But it's a very simple mechanism, and it definitively proves the shape of the Earth.
Basically, what she's saying is, if the Earth was flat,
we got what you're saying.
Yeah,
if the Earth was
it doesn't
flat,
work on a flat Earth. It doesn't work.
I want to ask a simpler question, if you guys don't mind. You, Shanji, you mentioned that, you know, what you can see for yourself,
Mhm.
and that's all well and good. But my question to you is, are you saying that everyone in the southern hemisphere that can confirm an observation like we have a south celestial point and Polaris is not there, are you saying everyone in the southern hemisphere is not trustworthy?
No, I get the idea of perception or being able to see it from that distance, I guess. I don't really I haven't really done too much research on the stars and everything. I just got a telescope, so I'm just now even looking up, so to speak.
What kind of
What,
mount do you
what,
have?
I was about to ask that. Yeah, what kind of telescope you got?
It's like one of those little it's a piece of crap one. It ain't the best one in the world. It's
It's on an old ass mount, though. Right?
Well, piece of crap telescope or not, I want to touch on something that has absolutely nothing to do with scope. So if you guys don't mind,
Go ahead.
And that is basically the idea of basic concepts. If you have a sphere that's spinning, you're going to have 2 points in which they rotate. So you can put a spike right through it and rotate it on that axis, which means you're going to have 2 poles and you'll have 2 pole stars.
Yeah.
Being that we have a bunch of people living in the southern hemisphere and they're all saying the exact same thing, that they do have a south celestial point that doesn't have Polaris in it, and then we have a northern celestial point which does have Polaris in it. That means that with 2 celestial points, that fits perfectly to a sphere. But I'm wondering if you see any way of making that fit to any flat Earth model.
I'd honestly like to give me some time to just look at it and figure it out. Just off the top of my head, I couldn't even fathom how to.
Basically, I'm talking about this. If you had a layer of stars over the flat Earth, okay? Let's go with the flat Earth where there's this big giant ice wall that is Antarctica all around it, okay? The point just above the North Pole would have a celestial point where Polaris would rotate.
Okay, I understand.
If you go to the rim of the flat Earth, as you have the dome of Earth rotating above it, you would see the stars traverse across the horizon, as in they would be moving along the edge of the Earth.
Yeah.
So there would be no point in the south where you would have stars rotating around a fixed point, because everything should be traversing across the horizon. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand now.
So if you don't have a solution for that for the flat Earth, that's okay. But do you see that as a problem for the flat Earth that they need to solve?
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of problems on both sides, but I completely understand what you're saying. But that's also, I mean, I have 101 questions, and I'm not gonna act like I know everything. So,
Sean, this is probably the most important question of them all. How useful is a flat Earth to you when you're trying to make predictions when you're looking up in the sky? Like, how many predictions can the flat Earth offer? Let's say eclipses. Just to start with eclipses. If not within Earth and Moon and Sun, or how about other planets like Jupiter and its moons, or Saturn and its moons? How many eclipse predictions can you rely on with flat Earth models?
Well, theoretically, if you're on a flat Earth model and it is the way that a flat Earth, sun, and moon work, it would be the same thing as predicting it.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
I'm going to ask a question at this point.
You would be able to predict the path of the sun and the moon on a flat Earth the same way you'd be able to.
I have a question here.
Yes,
Has
sir.
any flat Earth person ever presented an actual model that we can test?
Yes, Stinky Cash.
As in for the eclipse, I mean? Or just in general?
Wait a minute. I'm going to ask Jamaican. Hold that thought because I will be coming back to it. But Sean C, just in general, has any flat earther produced a model that we can go to and utilize and try to make predictions to see if they hold true?
I've seen a few that explain things like, you know, the eclipse.
No, I don't think
that's not the question.
A model is something that actually has measurements.
Yeah.
So it can actually be modeled.
Like if we want to predict when sunset will be tomorrow or 6 months from now, we want to predict the path of the sun through the sky and where it will set on the horizon and at what time.
Yeah.
What model do you have that can do that?
What?
I personally don't, and I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry.
What about the fact that ours we have one?
You cannot honestly use the term flat Earth model if you have no model to use. Just saying.
I understand.
All right. Now with I want to bring it back to Jamaican because I thought I heard you said that someone did have a model. Who and where can we find it?
Yes. Stinky Cash. He predicts the movements of the moon. You go to his channel. He had a experiment. It was like,
again, does he have a model that supplies measurements?
Yes, he uses the flat Earth model.
So he can predict all of the eclipses over the next 100 years, down to the arc second in time and polar coordinates.
You're missing.
Well, let's see.
Does he have a measurable model that we can actually build? Because I've actually done this in my video lineup. I've actually built a flat Earth model based on what they were using at the time. Since I built that scale model in my backyard, everybody has dropped that model.
Well, you have to take in consideration. You have to take in consideration that even ourselves, we're going to find some type of, discrepancies with the model because it's fairly new to us. It's coming into it. I've only been into it. Listen, I've only been into it for over a year. And then the glow model has been around for about 500 years, and we're
actually 2,500.
constantly finding problems with it. Now,
everyone, hang on. Everyone stop. Stop for a second. Hang on. Everyone stop for a second. We were all talking over each other. I'm going to go from right to left on my screen. So Sean Hufford, you go first. Then I'm going to give it to Jamaican. So Sean, go ahead.
Okay, this is the issue, Jamaican. If you can't give accurate measurements, you cannot build a model at all. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Nobody has presented a model for the flat Earth, and they're all trying to say they can make predictions. Without actual measurements, you cannot make any predictions because you're just doing best guesses.
Okay, when the globe first came about, everybody was just going on basically speculations and ideas, and then later on in life they came with the measurements on being able to test it. So y'all have to give us the same consideration that we're constantly looking at our model, making measurements, small and sometimes greater measurements to try to explain the model. That's why I was saying with Stinky Cash, he actually did some measurements with the moon. Now, this experiment he did, and he was explaining as when he does the moon, he goes out and films the moon every night. It's a time when the moon is out every night. No clouds or nothing. And he was making the math that the moon was moving away from its original spot from the night before by 1 degree. Now,
in one night,
I know it would take a lot. Now, listen. Now, I know it would take a lot of work. But just that 1 degree that he observed the moon being not in a different spot at the same time every night or
That has
whatever.
never
Just that
happened. It
one
never will happen.
degree eventually with the right measurements and math, that 1 degree can eventually predict the next eclipse.
Oh, okay. Let me. No, Kaiser, you shush. If he's showing a 1 degree change in the moon's location one night to the next, a 24-hour period, do you know how long it would take for the moon to come back to the same location again?
365 days. 360 days.
What Stinky Cash is proposing is that it takes 1 year for the moon to go from one spot in the sky to come back to the same spot in the sky again. 1 year. And you're using this guy for a model?
I'm more inclined to think he screwed up on that.
And doing that, and then also taking measurements of the sun to see if the sun is moving.
Jamaica, you're not paying attention.
Let's say on our model,
Jamaican, you're not paying attention.
Listen, on our model, the moon is moving slower. On our model, the moon is moving slower than the sun.
But here's the thing.
So even after 365 days, even after 365 days or whatever,
Jamaican.
Yes.
Jamaican.
What you don't understand is
Go ahead.
By observation, it takes about 27 to 29 days for the moon to reach the same point in the sky as a previous observation. Not 1 year. So already his model is jacked.
Yes, based on your description of his model is flawed, and that means we cannot use his model to make accurate predictions.
And
so
it seems he's not actually measuring anything, because if he were, he would have noticed that it moved 12 to 13 degrees, not 1.
Yeah, and also what I was going to ask is for a link to this supposed model, and I'm going to make a bet that I'm going to find no usable measurements on it whatsoever.
Okay,
can I
let me
just-
look for it.
Sounds good. I'm going to let you look for it, and we'll continue from there.
Can I just kind of highlight what a model would be?
Go ahead, Kara. You have the floor.
So, having a model, we would essentially be able to replicate it. We could build a miniature version of it, and it would be able to effectively predict observations based on measurements from that scale model. So, for example, if you're trying to predict the position of Polaris on the globe, you would simply make a sphere, you would map the whole world to that sphere, and then you put an observer on that point, or a camera, and then you'd look at what angle Polaris is in that model and say, okay, Polaris is at 40 degrees when I'm at 40 degrees north. You're actually, the way we built that model was actually taking measurements. So we looked at the sky, we saw that Polaris is at 40 degrees, and we built the model around that. And then we can later use that model to make a prediction about the future. So we know, for example, that the moon is going around the Earth in about 27 days. 27.32, I think. So 27.32, 360 divided by that tells you how many degrees it moves per day. So we can make predictions with that. If it is indeed doing that, we would be able to go out and say, okay, if the moon is in orbit around the Earth, and it takes 27 days to do that, it's going to move that many degrees in exactly 24 hours. And when we go outside and look, that's what happens. That's what we get. It also needs to explain the stars. And if you think about a flat Earth, you can only have a hemisphere of stars, half of a sphere. But we need a model that gives an entire sphere of stars, because we have a north celestial pole, and we have a south celestial pole, and we have a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. We need both of those included. So all of this needs to go into the model. So already we have a problem where the flat Earth can't completely fill in the model. It doesn't give us the other hemisphere, for example, of the stars. it only gives us one.
Kara, he
You
dropped.
lagged out.
I know he dropped, but I'm just
I'd like to hear it.
Well,
Yeah,
it,
I
since
thought it
this
was
for
still-
his benefit. It makes no point to at least hold off until
I would like I like that I would still stay for the other flat earthers that might be in the live chat. I'm not sure if any of them are left. But
I think my point is made. A model is something you should be able to build. It should make sense. It should fit in 3D space. It should be able to make predictions. It should have precise measurements. So the distance of the moon is exactly this many units from the Earth, and the Earth is this many units in diameter, and the sun is this many units away from the Earth, and it all has to fit into 3D space.
Lamed student in chat asked if he dropped or quit. He probably dropped out. He's done it a few times in this so far. It's probably
Yeah,
just
once he comes back, I'm going to broadcast him again, so don't worry.
I'd like to ask a question to the flat earthers in general, if you guys don't mind.
I'm okay with it.
I don't mind.
All right. Then. So, Sean, one thing I wanted to ask you. Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you is, do you know what makes objects fall on a flat Earth? Like, what's the force that would make stuff fall on flat Earth? Or
That's a good question.
What I feel is, what was started off described to me as being mass and density. I kind of looked into it, like try to figure things out with like the atmospheric pressure.
Right.
And trying to figure out basically, I know that you're lighter at a higher weight, so you go to the top of a mountain, you're going to weigh less.
Okay.
But then at the same time, wouldn't the atmospheric pressure be less there too? Or is it?
Yes.
It is.
All one.
And there's a reason why there's a density gradient in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Say it again.
There's a reason why there's a density gradient in the atmosphere. It's thicker air the lower you are, and it gets less dense the higher you go.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Gravity.
It's the same reason pressure goes up the further you dive.
Yep.
You have more weight above you.
Yeah.
So-
Apparently,
So
I
atmospheric.
just got, and I'm going to interrupt this for a second, go completely off topic. Apparently there is someone in the live chat that's a flat earther that apparently wants to come in and try and defend it. I'm wondering who this person is. If that person can post in the live chat and tell me who you are, just say I'm a flat earther and I wish to join. Please go ahead and type in the live chat and I'll do my best to send you the link. So go ahead and continue.
Reds, when you said that, like the first thing that came to mind was this.
Kara. I can't see everybody's name. Sorry if I don't say it. Red,
Yeah.
especially because I know you. I've been listening to you for a while, so I know you are out of character at the moment. But I appreciate it. Sean,
I'm back.
I appreciate all you guys' info. I gotta hop off. I'm gonna
All right,
keep
then.
I gotta hop off the panel, but I do appreciate you guys. Explaining it and not throwing it down my throat or anything like that.
Yeah,
Well,
we're not always
appreciate
piss and
you
vinegar, dude.
Yeah, Red is.
I
No,
would argue only to people that fucking deserve it. Like for example, I will say this. People like Jeranism, for example, they're a fucking compulsive liar.
Well, I don't listen to the if they run a 24-hour loop, I don't watch it. I can't handle those.
It's honestly, he is a compulsive liar, and he also has a want, need, or desire to make as much money off of this shit as possible, and he's actively lying to people, especially when he's been telling people demonstrably incorrect shit that I have repeatedly corrected him on. But for people who are honestly just trying to figure stuff out, like you were honest with me, you said, yeah, this is a problem that I am going to look into. Yes, this is a genuine question that I have. Then I'm perfectly okay with, calming down, answering the question legitimately, let's have a conversation, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll never be.
The thing about us, we don't support big channels. We don't support channels that don't support ours anyway. So like Jeranism, he has. I mean, no disrespect to him, but he has a lot of. He has a lot of followers, and even when I used to check out his channel or whatever, and come in his chat, he doesn't come to you being exposed or or Brother Sanchez's channel and show us love, or Charm Pairs. He doesn't come to none of our podcasts and show us support like we used to do here. So
Oh my god, that is so fucking gay.
Anyway,
All right.
again, I appreciate everyone
if
except
you're a
for
smaller channel, we support you.
Except for Kaiser,
but-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Sean G. If you can also do me a favor, a quick question before you go. You are a mod in Thrive and Survive's live chat, right?
Yeah. So I was asked to be a mod there because I know a lot of who are trolls. Because I've been dealing with I call him the puppet master, but I will not say his name because then he'll hear.
Okay.
Here's
Well,
a question for you.
hang on.
I am Jim Panda.
No.
If you can do me a favor,
Yes.
quickly note the people who are in this hangout, myself included. And if you can tell him to kind of unban us, because we weren't doing anything but asking a simple question. I don't think we did anything that warranted getting banned. All I was trying to do was ask a very simple question: what happened to Riley's channel? That's all I asked. So if you can do me a quick favor, have a little birdie tell Thrive and Survive that we didn't do anything that warranted such an action, and I would appreciate if he would unban us.
Yeah, no problem. I'll
Sounds good.
pass on the word. I can't guarantee nothing, but I will pass the word on.
As long as you put the word in, that's
I have a much simpler question. Have we treated you in general? I know that we've had one problem child here tonight, Kaiser.
No,
but have we treated you in a way a troll would treat somebody?
Absolutely not. You don't have to, but you can go on my channel. I've been dealing with the trolls.
Yeah,
So-
I fully know that there are trolls out there, but not all of us who think the Earth is round is a troll.
Oh no, it's on YouTube. It's far and few, but luckily, I mean, you guys have all been respectful except for, but yeah, nothing compared to the assholes that are really out there. I get Red. This is like Red's dick, kind of, so to speak. I'm pretty sure.
I fully agree. Red is a dick a lot of times.
Oh, yeah,
but it's normally at people who deserve it.
Don't call me a dick. I prefer cunt.
What's he got against Baton Rouge? Red stick? What the fuck is that?
Anyway,
y'all stupid, man.
Anyway, dude, it's been nice talking with you. And while you leave, I'm also going to say this from the live chat. Apparently,
it's been fun.
It's some dude by the name of Urban Underdog or some underdog. Anyway, I copied and pasted his name in G+. So, dude, if you are listening, if you check your G+, you will see a private message from me. And all you have to do is click on that link. It will bring you in. Once you're in, I'll broadcast you, and then we can chit-chat. So you have been invited. You just have to go to your G+ and click the link. So there you go.
All right. I get it, guys. I do.
I never heard of that guy.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Then
Better Sean G. Flat Power.
Yep. Don't know who the guy that you just said is, but
White
Yeah, I've gotten the link.
All right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What
No,
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
know who this guy is either. I'm just inviting anyone at this point because I really don't give a shit. Okay, so Flat Earth Jamaican, going back to the whole model thing.
Yeah, I found the link. But the back hangout isn't available for me to post it. I did copy it though. I'm ready to share it, but I don't know. When I go to my back hangout, it's the other hangouts I've been involved in. It doesn't. You know how you can go to the hangout and it just show ongoing call or whatever? That's not showing up.
Then do me a favor, and like I said, we'll probably come back to that at another time. I do want to point out something that Kara said. In fact, I'm not even going to bother pointing it out because fuck doing that work. Kara, can you please repeat for us what does and does not make a model? Because I do know that Jamaican kind of had some connection issues during that.
Oh, I was just
Yeah,
trying
I
to
was
say
listening to
that.
part of the video. Go ahead.
I was just trying to say that a model needs to be reproducible, so you could build a scale model of it. like in your backyard or in some 3D software or something like that. So if you're building a model, it needs to have set distances and scales. So Earth needs to be so many units large. The moon needs to be so many units distant from the Earth, and it needs to be so big. It has to move at a specific speed. And you should be able to use this model to make predictions about reality. So in the case of the moon, you should be able to predict where the moon is based on its relative position to the Earth and an observer on that Earth. So
absolutely.
So with the flat Earth,
and we are. That's what I'm saying. We are working on that.
Well,
but like I said, we are still reason is easy to be out to predict stuff on the globe because it's been around for over hundreds of years. This model is still new to us. We're still working on it. Just cause we can't answer a few questions that doesn't totally debunk the whole model. It just means that it hasn't come that we haven't found a solution yet.
There are certain questions that entirely debunk the model. There are certain questions that entirely debunk the model. Like, where's the southern, where are all the southern stars in a flat Earth? We only have enough room for a hemisphere over the flat Earth. Would you agree? Half a sphere. You can only see half of a sphere at once, right? For the stars?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but you got to consider how big the sky is as well.
Hey, Jim.
Well, no, you can literally.
If it's any consolation to you, good luck, buddy.
If there is a dome above us, some type of mirrored dome or whatever, it was seeing. I mean, it could send everything in the opposite direction as in the mirror. Now, the globe is. They say that everything is relative. That people on the bottom of the globe are not standing upside down, but yet they can see stars moving in the opposite direction. Now, saying that, I picture myself. Hold on, let me finish. Now, we're saying that. I picture myself spinning the top, and let's say Red Rhetoric is standing straight, is standing right side up, but I'm hanging from the ceiling. If I'm hanging from the ceiling, I'm going to see that top. If I'm hanging upside down from the ceiling, I'm going to see that top spin in the opposite direction. So now my thing is, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that everything is right side up, even on the bottom of the globe, but actually you looking upside down as everything moving in the opposite direction.
It's called a dipole system. That's what we see every day. That's what the globe Earth predicts.
Well,
so
we have a thing called gravity, where when you're on the bottom of the sphere, you're pulled to the bottom. So
I think I want to bring up.
I knew it would come up eventually. I was just
gravity really has never been tested.
Oh shit, it has. It has. Definitely has. It's been precisely measured. In fact, it's been extremely precisely measured.
Was it 6.67 times 10 to the?
Say what now?
I got a question for you, Jamaica.
Yeah.
How far through education have you gone?
I think that's a relevant question.
No, it is relevant, Red, because it does tie in, because he said gravity was never tested.
Well, he did answer that. He said he made it through all the way through high school, so that's an answering question.
Okay, well,
everyone shut up. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up.
And you must have missed a part. You must have missed a part when I said
Jamaica, when I say everyone shut up, that goes for you too. Okay? Look, I'm not going to question this guy's education. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to try my very best to not be an asshole for this hangout. So let me go ahead and just ask that question a different way. Or a question that can give us a similar perspective on it. So, Jamaican, let me ask you. Have you ever heard of something called the Cavendish experiment?
Say that again. The Cavendish.
Cavendish. Have you ever heard of that experiment? Do you know what it is?
No, I have not.
Okay, then that would probably be the reason why you never heard of this. The fact that it has been proven. Okay, so my question to you is, if you have never heard of something that is actually pretty important when it comes to discussing gravity, would it be safe to say that you still have much more to study before you can come to a definitive conclusion on the matter?
I mean, I basically, yeah. I mean, yeah, and at the same time, I can defend what I know. Like, I can defend that no matter how you use water, it's always gonna.
No, I understand that,
That's what I'm saying.
much.
Yeah,
I understand that much. I'm just bringing to your attention that there's something that you're missing. You're missing a piece to the puzzle, and that piece is actually pretty important to figuring out what the picture is on the puzzle. So, with that being said, though, given the information that you have, if it is not gravity, what exactly is holding all of us to the ground? Why do objects fall?
Because we weigh heavier than the air around it. That's why anything heavier than the air around it will fall. Anything lighter than the air would rise. That's like it's like gravity.
Why do objects have weight?
Hang on, Mr. Virginity. Hang on, Jared. Fuck all of you. This is mine, okay? I'm the one making the gravity, you fucking retard t-shirts, and I will have fucking order. So anyway, moving on. Okay, so you mentioned that the atmosphere has something to do with the reason why objects fall, correct? Okay, then, so I believe that the answer is that, or the answer to why objects fall down is because the air gets denser the lower you go, so objects are going to naturally want to fall towards the denser air, correct? That's
as long if it's more dense than the air, yes, it's going to fall through it.
Yeah, it's going to fall towards.
Yeah, that's common sense. Yeah,
it's going to fall towards denser air. Okay, then. So we have density gradients. That's true, and objects are going to fall towards denser air. What if we got rid of the air, and as a consequence of that, we got rid of the density gradients, and as a consequence of that, we got rid of the directional influence that an object would want to take? So why would objects fall in the vacuum then?
Do objects fall in a vacuum?
Yeah, objects do indeed fall in the vacuum. My question is, why, if we get rid of the directional influence of the atmosphere, of the density gradients that you said are pretty important?
Why would it still go to the floor instead of to the wall of the container that it is closer to?
Or even float.
And Jam, why isn't my fat ass falling through my more dense chair?
I think you got the
okay.
Let's just stick to.
That was done, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah, I was gonna call him out on that.
I was gonna call him out on that too. Okay, so let's just stick to the vacuum question I posed earlier. So for the sake of keeping everything on track, I'm just gonna repeat it so that.
I mean that one I really don't know, but let me ask you the same question though. If you release a helium balloon in a vacuum, will it still rise or will it fall?
It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall.
Well,
and also that bitch is gonna pop.
That if Black Fat one is copyrighted, but there's actually a video of somebody who actually did that exact experiment from Action Lab.
Yeah,
Cody's lab, I think, has a vacuum also. He does
really, I didn't see that. I gotta see that one. I love Cody's lab.
Basically, once you get rid of the atmosphere in a field of gravity, as you would like a vacuum on Earth, everything is going to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have the atmosphere to cause the falling because we don't have the density gradients to act upon. So if the density gradients aren't there, and you just agreed that density gradients is what's causing objects to fall in the first place, then the question has to be, why do things still fall in the vacuum?
That's a good question. Now, like I said, I don't know that one question particular because, like I said, I'm still figuring out
doesn't it
a lot of science
Doesn't it suggest that density isn't causing the thing to fall?
Yeah, correct.
That's the whole point of doing that experiment. It's to remove that variable so that density isn't at play. So,
Yeah, and why has it?
so we've
why hasn't
eliminated
anyone-
density. We've just
why has it-
eliminated density. Kaiser, shut up.
Sorry.
But some some people say that density is the cause of gravity, or vice versa.
Flat
Gravity
earthers
is the
love to
cause.
say that, but they've never shown it to be true because
No,
we can just,
I
we
didn't hear
drop
that from
things
flat
in-
earthers. I heard it from globe
Jim.
earthers. A lot of people that I debate on Twitter uses that.
No.
Jim, do you like YouTube videos? Jim, do you like YouTube videos? YouTube search Brian Cox.
He's talking about the feather and the cannonball.
Just do it. And the bowling
Oh
ball.
yeah, and there was a bunch of camera cuts in it too. Because if you look at it real closely,
Right, camera cuts, right.
yeah, if you look at it real closely, one frame, on one frame you see the feather is smooth, and in the other frame around the same position or whatever, the feather is ruffled.
Don't see
So
it.
yeah,
So there's no way
Yeah.
you could do this yourself.
Yeah, it's not only the experiment; it hasn't just been repeated like literally 1,000+ times in the last 100 years.
Just to point out that it was either Cody's lab or Action Lab that also did the feather and a weight in a vacuum chamber.
Yep.
They held the weight, or they sandwiched the feather between a weight and the top of the thing of the vacuum chamber, and they actually held a magnet to hold that weight and holding the feather in turn, drew a vacuum, and then removed the magnet. They both fell at the same speed. So this has been repeated by amateurs, people without any funding. All he did was build his own vacuum chamber.
okay, but let me ask you. Yeah, I've seen some experiments done in a vacuum where, how someone ignited fire in a non-vacuum, and it lit, and then they did the same thing. They try to light the same thing in a vacuum chamber.
I can literally hear you pulling shit out.
He's actually talking about a Cody's Lab video. I know which one.
And they tried to do the same thing in a vacuum, and the fire did not light.
Did you see the follow-up videos?
Which kind of debunks the rockets making fire or
Jamaica.
making thrust through a vacuum. Yes.
Did you watch the follow-up
Yes.
videos? Yes or no?
Yeah,
He
it was
did
a
more than
series
one
of
video
them.
on that. And so you watched the last one where he actually got the rocket to ignite. I'm going to take that as a no.
Take it as no. Now, can I take this one? Can I explain?
I'm actually going to give Jared the floor here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, in the video you saw, in normal atmosphere, it ignited, no problem. In the vacuum, he couldn't get it to ignite. What was missing from the atmosphere in the vacuum? That is a key component to combustion.
You breathe it in.
So the solid rocket material didn't have
Kaiser, give him a chance. What was missing in the vacuum chamber that is critical for combustion?
Let me think.
You need three things
I know
for
this.
fire. You need fuel, you need heat, and you need what?
Oxygen.
Exactly. So when you're in an oxygen-deprived atmosphere, nothing is going to ignite unless you bring an oxidizer with you.
Yes.
What do you think one of the massive fuel tanks in all rockets are?
A tint.
I guess an oxidizer.
Holy fucking shit.
Yes, exactly. That you are correct on that. They call it LOX, so yeah, it's liquid oxygen. So you actually don't need to use the ambient oxygen. You bring your own oxygen supply with you.
Another thing that Cody's
So
lab
which answer do I trust? Which answer should I consider y'all's or all the other Glovers that give
You should
answers?
consider ours, NASA, SpaceX, ULA's, Blue Origin, and also orbital ATKs because they use the same exact shit.
Because some people say that
Jim,
the
you should
thrust-
consider the answer of the data. The data is what you don't argue with, regardless of where it comes from.
I'm gonna make this very simple for him. Cody's Lab did
Fair
a
enough.
3-video series on this. The first time he did, and this is the videos you're talking about, the first time he tried it, and he was using rocket fuel at the time, or actually the first one was gunpowder. It has an oxidizer in it already. The first video, he couldn't get it to light in a vacuum, even though it had an oxidizer in it. The second time he tried it, he just tried to use a model rocket engine. It wouldn't light, even though it had an oxidizer in it. The third time, which he did get it to successfully light, all he did was put a piece of a bit of paraffin at the end of the rocket so it could actually have a pressurized chamber, so it had time to start the burn. Once the burn was started, it operated just fine in a vacuum.
Yes.
The key component he was missing in his first 2 experiments was a pressurized container to start the ignition.
No, the combustion chamber, which, oh, wait, is there
Rocket
in
tab.
the rocket engine?
Yes, correct. Also,
So if you watch all 3 of those videos instead of cherry picking from the first one and possibly the second, you'll see where you're wrong.
Also, I want to point something out. Jamaica, my eyes are actually quite shit. I think you already know that, so I'm gonna need you to help me with something here, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna screen share, and I want you to tell me this section right here. This is a model of a Falcon 9 rocket, a cutaway, if you will. This LOX tank. Can you tell me what it says right here?
Liquid oxygen kerosene. Liquid oxygen kerosene.
And one of the main ingredients for combustion was oxygen, correct?
It's oxygen.
And so in an oxygen-deprived environment, if you brought it with you, problem solved, right?
Yep.
Okay, then we're pretty much good there. That means that when rockets lift off and go into space, the fact that they're in an oxygen-deprived environment doesn't debunk shit.
Let's see. Okay, I appreciate the model.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to stop screen sharing now.
To touch on the point of which globalists you should believe or which globe believer you should take your information from, some people are quite misinformed. So not everyone is going to give you accurate information. Some people might actually give you the wrong information. What you should do is dig deeper and look at what the actual experts are saying.
Yeah, I would say, we're all, you can come to me anytime. You can go to Sean Hufford anytime. Jared, I'm sure even Kara would be more than happy to tell you. Because here's the thing, this may be weird, but I'll even say that people that know that the Earth is round can sometimes be full of shit because they could also be ignorant on how rockets work. I literally heard one person told me.
I mean, not just that. They don't even know the second grade. They don't even know the second grade fundamentals.
What I'm trying to say is that there's dumb fucks on both sides, and the fact is that not everyone dives into rocketry as deep as I have. My thing is this: before you accept anything, if it sounds suspicious to you, or if it sounds like complete and total horseshit, I would say that you need to talk with me, Sean Hufford, Kara, Jared, because if we are knowledgeable, we'll tell you, yes, this guy is full of shit or not. And if we don't know the answer, we know people who do.
For example, of like
don't get me wrong. None of us just woke up the next morning and be like, "Oh, the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat." Everybody went to public schools, just like y'all. Some went to private schools, but they still talk the globe. But just when people just come to us like we just some. What's the best insult? Tinfoil hat conspiracy wearing uneducated thick dumb fuck cunts or some shit. That shows that they're not ready to talk science with an open mind, because it's like, prime example, one day we was on Big Dread's channel, You Been Exposed, and it was somebody named Matthias or something. He was in the chat, and his first comment was like, "Y'all fucktards, y'all retarded." So we asked him to join the panel. We just asked him the simple second grade question: how far is the moon from the globe? He did not know. we
So-
asked him, okay, how far is the sun from the globe?
So
He did not.
let me just level with you and say that there are a lot of stupid globe believers out there. There's a lot of
Yes.
people out there that believe that
Yeah,
that the Earth
they
is
don't even know the
globe,
model. They don't even know the
and
model,
they
but they
don't
call
even
it
know the
stupid.
model. I 100% agree with you on that. But you cannot use their ignorance as evidence to support the flat Earth.
Yeah. So what
We
what
don't. We
what I'm
don't. We
trying to
just
say
use.
is what I'm trying to
We
say
use
is
it for
here.
the sake of argument. Sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say here is this. If you come across anything that sounds the slightest bit questionable, come to me first and I'll be more than happy to discuss it. Also, that goes for the claims of flat earthers, because I've heard many flat earthers say rockets don't work in space. And as a Falcon 9 fan myself, I would like to say that is bullshit. And I am fairly confident in my abilities to answer any question or any objection that anyone has about rockets working in space. All they have to do is actually come to me, and I'll be more than happy to talk with them. Like, for example, you mentioned...
Actually, would you be willing to join? I mean, I appreciate you letting me join the panel. I'm about to get off here in about 30 seconds, but
okay, then I'm going to go ahead and then just hang out my normal way. So I did give a link to the other dude, the underdog, whoever the fuck he is, but he just never showed up. I did not hide him from the broadcast. If he would have
I
came
don't
in, I
know
would have
him. He might be a
broadcasted him.
troll.
He
I
might
wouldn't
be,
even.
but who knows?
Yeah,
Okay,
he might
anyway,
be a troll.
this hangout is officially over. So, dude, I'm going to give you Jamaican. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Say what you gotta say, and then have a good night.
Yeah, absolutely. I was saying, anytime y'all can come to our channels as well. You know, you've been exposed. You've already talked to Brother Sanchez. I'll be on his panel a lot. I think you had to catch a flight that night though. We went on the panel the same night after you left.
Yeah.
And or Chon Pear, you can even come to Chon Pear, Sean G. We all like to, you know, just basically just talk science. I mean, we have fun while doing it. We actually learn models, you know. But like I said, we would like, you know, for y'all to, you know, show the same respect and come to our panels as well, you know.
All right. So with that, I'm going to ask you to, you know, take care, have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
You too, and thanks for having me, brother.
Sounds good. Peace. Okay, so Mr. Virginity Stealers, say what you guys say and get the fuck out.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you just like not make it live, but have the hangout available if people keep on talking?
Sounds like a plan to me. Kara, say what you guys say and get the fuck out.
I got nothing.
Sounds good. Hillel, say what you guys say and get the fuck out. Hello. Don't do this. Hello? Don't do this.
Who's this guy?
Don't know, but it's too late. So, hello? Come on. My mom used to do this to me all the time. Hello? You're reminding me of my unhappy childhood. Don't do this to me. And eject. Okay,
You beat me.
Yep. Jared, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Why do I subject myself to some of these people?
Because you gotta put that oven to good use.
Exactly. Got to put the protective equipment to good use. Got to make sure it's still working. Plus, then I realized, oh wait, I do remember a lot more of this shit than I thought.
Yep. All right, and Kaiser, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Next hangout I'm in, can we play a really just good, clean game of Would You Rather?
No.
That's it.
Okay,
No, the
Sean.
questions I ask are really disturbing.
All right, Sean, say what you gotta say and get the fuck out.
Just one point that I never got around to getting around to was models aren't built and then you make observations. You build your models based on observations, not the other way around. Like, we don't make just blank assumptions and then try to make them work. We make our observations, try to fit them into a model, and we finally got one where everything adds up and works in harmony together. No flat earther can ever produce a model because they can only make a model that might work with one aspect or another aspect, but they can never get one to work in harmony to where all aspects of the model work in conjunction. It will never happen. And this is what just floors me, that they can't give us any kind of decent measurements to try to build one. As I said earlier in the Hangout, I've actually, when they were still pushing the AE map as their model with a specific height sun, specific height moon, I built it to their specifications. It didn't work. And shortly after that video, every flat earther said, oh, that's not our model. And to this date, no one has been able to supply anything close to a model. And they're still saying things like, oh, well, the flat earth model predicts this. Okay, give us something to build it. They never do. So that should tell you a whole lot that there is no working model. That's it for me.
Perfect. Okay, by popular demand, a bunch of people are asking me to keep this Hangout up. So here's what I'm going to do, and so make sure everyone's listening. This Hangout will be taken down. It'll be off of my Red's Rhetoric channel, and I will be posting it on my Redshift channel. So I don't want you guys asking me where this fucking video is, because I'm going to be posting it there. So just to make sure I'm very fucking clear, this Hangout is not going to stay on the Red's Rhetoric channel. It is going on the Redshift channel. So go over there to watch this Hangout. As soon as it's done processing, I'm going to download it, upload it on that channel where you guys can watch it. So with that, this Hangout is over. Thank you very much for watching, all damn near 140 of you. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And Hangout's over.